Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they're kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here with me I have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I talked in our group chat about what I wanted to start the show with.
Are you really going to start the show with this?
It would only be on brand. I have just discovered this phenomenon.
Christopher Columbus ass. Go ahead.
So apparently, I was listening to Bomani Jones' podcast, and he had, I believe it was Joel Anderson on there, and they were talking about, the theory that Babe Ruth, Babe Herman, or I think it's Herman.
It is Herman.
Yeah, Babe Herman Ruth was a black man.
Yes. George Herman Ruth, being people saying may have been passing as white, has been a long heard theory that I've known of since before I maybe even have known you. So, like, the fact that this is now just getting to you is like, that's awfully surprising. I'm glad that I know where it came from, because at first I was like, why is he now just hearing about this now? What's going on? But alright, okay.
So immediately I started hopping on the internet, and I found several things that seem to corroborate this theory. So apparently Ty Cobb had made several racial remarks towards the Babe, and if the Babe was a regular white man, I don't believe that would have happened. He seemed to have a nickname for Mr. Ruth based on his facial features.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know about that until you had posted it this weekend, but yeah, Ty Cobb was that big of a bigot, yeah.
Yeah, so Babe Ruth, so if he's ours, that means
oh my God.
Y'all try to take Barry Bonds away, but little did you know, we already ran the sport.
Oh my God.
Yes, us. I'm just shocked by this, Jay. It's like, why didn't you tell me this?
I figured we are. Look, it's all hearsay. There's no real way to know. It doesn't really change anything now.
I guess I missed the meeting. The secret black meetings. Like that one skipped over. I guess I missed a day.
Yeah, you didn't get CC'd in on that one on the group email chain.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. What the hell? So what's up to my bro, Babe?
Oh my God. I can't wait till we find out, like, that Babe. That babe that even if he was passing as black or not, or passing as white or not, was still not like rocking with us in public. Like, I can't wait till that comes. Like, that shit don't matter if he was black or not. They thought he was white. I guarantee you he acted as accordingly and nothing changed. So, whatever.
They said this man used to be out there getting caught up in Harlem, hanging out with the black folks, cruising around with the women, and he was out there in them streets operating.
I mean, there are plenty of bigots that will fuck us. That's not a thing. Like,
yeah. But so
that's nothing new. How you think we got all these light skinned people out here? Anyway.
Well, yeah, man. 30 years. You thought Jackie Robinson was the first? No, sir.
Like, stupid. Oh.
Babe Ruth Ben broke the color line.
The floor is yours. If you got,
I was amazed. I was amazed at this. I just wonder how it took this long to get to me. In my 31 years of living. So I'm kind of shocked, man.
I don't know, man. I guess it's hiding it from you. They just don't. It's a secret they didn't want to admit.
Much like Stevie Wonder not being able to see, which is a joke because we know Stevie is not blind.
Oh boy,
Babe Ruth is black.
Have we ever talked about Stevie ain't blind on air?
Not for a while.
Oh, it's been that long. You may as well do it again. Okay. All right. Yeah. All you gotta do is follow the story of Stevie Wonder, of his rise to fame, how the story is that he was blind, as a baby, and then he starts describing things and lyrics in his songs that are incongruent with that story. You hear anecdotal stuff from time to time, like Shaka Khan just saying he ain't blind. Daryl Dawkins saying that the person that gave him the nickname Chocolate Thunder was Stevie Wonder. Stories like Shaq walking into the Beverly Hotel in Los Angeles, and Stevie walks in and says, "Oh, hey, Shaq."
Amazing.
The fact that Stevie, you ain't never seen him involved with no unattractive woman ever. Some of the trends of his choice of clothing being remarkably similar through the decades. Him being courtside at NBA games. There's a lot of stuff.
Him being a photographer.
Yeah, that's right. He wanted to be a photographer for TMZ. I forgot about that one. That you can look that up. That's not some shit we made up. That's true.
So on his song Boogie on Reggae Woman, the opening bar on the song is, "I like to see you, Boogie." You like to what, Stevie? See?
Yeah, there's also the part where he talks about colors in later on in that song, which is like, how can you even describe a color when you've been blind since you were an infant? Like, yeah. And then you throw in the Berry Gordy part where Berry Gordy, he's infamous for, or not infamous, but notorious for having, when he had Michael Jackson as a kid, had Michael Jackson shave off either a year or two off his age to make him seem even more of a prodigy than he already was.
Correct.
Yeah, there's so like, what will be the problem with him lying about someone like Stevie Wonder? Yeah, there's plenty of stuff.
Look, I've seen a picture with Stevie Wonder at the wheel of a car before.
I've seen Stevie Wonder on advertisement for Atari.
Unbelievable. Donald Glover gave a statement once. He said that Stevie Wonder has watched Atlanta.
Stupid. Can we move on?
I mean, let's just listen to what Shaq had to say about it.
It's true. It's a true story. It's a true story. So, according to Shaq, we lived in a building on Wilshire. So you park your car under the valet's down there. So I'm already in the building. I'm coming through the lobby. Door opens. This Stevie Wonder. He comes in, says, "What's up, Shaq?" Presses the button. Oh, it's true story. Presses the button, gets off on the floor, bathtub, goes to his room. I went and called every person I knew and told him to turn their lid. Oh, bro, he got on the elevator. He's like, "What's up, Shaq? How you doing, big dog?" know what I'm saying? Yes, he did. Yep. Wilshire Boulevard. Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
That's the story. He's sticking down.
I'm telling you what I.
Shaq is an officer of the law, James. I have to take Shaq at what he says.
Okay, so I got the story wrong about Shaq. It wasn't the Beverly; it was actually off Wilshire. But okay,
yeah.
Effectively, the location doesn't really matter. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that. There's also the one where he was doing something with Paul McCartney, and at the end, Paul McCartney knocks over a microphone in front of a live audience, and Stevie catches the fucking microphone. That's YouTube.
I remember that. Yep.
There's video of that. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm not saying for sure that Stevie can in fact see you. All I'm saying is I'm not ready. I'm not okay with just being like, oh yeah, he's definitely blind. That's it. That's it.
You know, you made the choice. You know,
you decide.
You know, but. Anyway,
I can't believe it. Oh man! All right,
yeah,
so
had to do some laughing. So all
right, so this weekend wasn't as loaded as it was going to be. Stardom.
Thank God.
Yeah, Stardom got as closed down for the rest of the month. They had a second COVID positive test, and they're not playing any games with it. So they're shutting down until they resume at the beginning of September. I think it would be the 5th of September. So, those 2 weekend shows that would have been gigantic. Those were moved aside, so they freed up some stuff for your boy personally. But as far as America goes, I'm sure I'll check out the Rev Pro show that was over the weekend too, with the Jamie Hayter versus Giselle Shaw match and the top two champions in Rev Pro in the tag match. So I'll check that out later. But I watched 3 shows: SummerSlam, Takeover 30, and Saturday Night Dynamite. And I gotta say, I can't remember the last time I saw 3 wrestling shows where I left all 3 of them saying, like, based on expectations, they all succeeded. Because I thought, given the trend of SummerSlams we've had and how much I've loved SummerSlam, and that's my favorite WWE pay-per-view ever, the last few ones have always been half good shows. I felt like this was a mostly good show. There's obviously brain rot on it with some of the booking decisions or some of the finishes at play, but the wrestling was very good, and most of the matches that we thought could come through mostly came through. Takeover, it was better than the last Takeover, which still makes you feel like that's it, but I still think it's not as good as what we had saw from 2016 to the pandemic hitting, but it was still a very good show. In Dynamite, while the wrestling wasn't necessarily great, I felt like the things that weren't matches were so good, and I liked so much that I came away with, feeling like I saw 3, not necessarily matches I would recommend, but 3 matches that I enjoyed, and then the promo work and the angles that were shot and the things that were set up, I really all thought were positive directions for AEW. And
yeah, I went fucking nuts at the final angle of AEW.
Yeah, I thought it was well done. Very well done. Very well done. Very well done. So, what were your thoughts over the weekend?
Yeah, so pretty much like you, I was like, man, there's a lot of wrestling to watch. So like I was, in and out of town, going back and forth from working with Swerve, and it was, trying to get home. I got home in time for Dynamite. I thought it was an excellent show, like just up and down. It was fucking awesome. Takeover, I watched it the next morning. Thought it was okay. I thought it was, there was a couple matches, I actually, I thought it was okay. But SummerSlam was largely like in a shockingly competent show.
Right.
For a lot of it. It was like, even the stuff, they did small things to make things make sense.
Right.
They Sonya and Mandy, for example, they came out and took the shit seriously, and you kind of bought into it. And,
right. And they actually tried to wrestle. They didn't go out there and try to do like nonsense. Obviously, there's a hardcore element to it, but like they didn't do any of like the nonsense they do in some of these matches with some of the girls they don't think can go at the level. So I appreciated that too.
Also, Roman Reigns' return.
Yes.
Really like seeing the big dog come back.
Yes. New teeth.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm on the Joe Budden show, they made lots of teeth jokes,
yes.
That were very funny. So hit us with your best, Roman Reigns teeth jokes, in the Discord. But I think overall, like it was, there's a couple things you can nitpick on the show if you want to, but I think this has smoked everything they've done since like the Royal Rumble.
I was going to say Survivor Series. When NXT
Either one, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, what was on Royal Rumble? We were like, I know, it depends on how you feel about Brock, like, overrunning the Royal Rumble men's side, but a lot of people love that, think it's one of the best Royal Rumbles ever. The women's, that them putting Charlotte over instead of Bianca or Shayna is just mind-boggling stupid, but, let's see. What was it?
Asuka and Becky.
That's right. Yep. Which was a match of the year contender in the main roster for the longest. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that was a good show. I think this was a better show, but this wasn't as good as Survivor Series. But still, it was like at
Daniel
least
Bryan and the Fiend.
That's right. Yes, one of the rare like good strap matches you'll ever see. Yeah. Yeah, so I would say, like, at least, obviously WrestleMania was too nice, shouldn't have been too nice, all the nonsense with, the nonsense of scrambling and try to do it in the studio, like, it definitely hurt. Oh my god. So, I just saw Shayna Baszler from her knees give Nia Jax a snapmare on the floor. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was a good show. There's stuff on it that's gonna bother you because it's WWE, but like this is one of those shows where you gotta be like, I'm watching Raw right now, right? It's one of those shows where like, it seems like they have their idea on where they're going to go. Let's see where they are 3 weeks from now.
I'm not fooled, so
right.
Like, look, do more than one of these in a row, like
right.
And luckily, they'll get the opportunity this weekend,
yes,
as they try to oversaturate the pay-per-view market.
Can somebody explain to me, like, the last 2 years where they'll have a pay-per-view on a week apart or 2 weeks apart? Like,
I think they're trying to fit something inside of a quarter or something.
But my thing is, this one don't make no sense because, like, obviously, some of these are like, all right, well, we can't get the building that we want to work until this week, or there's something in the schedule that makes us, want to avoid certain weeks. Given that we're in the middle of the pandemic and y'all are working out of a building and y'all basically have the rent on for months at a time, or you actually own, who is putting these restrictions on you to make you do this? You can't tell me it's pay-per-view provider because you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is they're trying to fit something inside of like a quarter. We need like X amount of shows during this.
Quarter? I get you.
Yeah,
okay. All right.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh my god. Okay, so remember Kevin Owens put over that they're going to do Aleister Black on the KO show.
No.
Oh, he plugged it when he was out there I forgot which match he was out there for.
The tag match.
Yeah. So he said, I'm going to have Aleister Black. So he walked backstage and he sees a door that's open and there's no light coming out of it. So I have it on mute. I don't know what he said. So he starts talking to the door because apparently that's supposed to be Aleister Black.
Wow. That's where he be.
Long form storytelling. He just went to a mop closet and talked into it.
Yikes.
All right.
So I guess let's take it from you want to go in order, or like start with Dynamite, then do Takeover, then SummerSlam?
No, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to end it on a good note. I'm going to go for SummerSlam, SmackDown, and AEW. Or not SmackDown, but TakeOver. Okay, so first match on the card. Or do you have some suggestion to that?
Nah, that's cool.
Okay, so show starts off with SmackDown Women's Title match: Bayley versus Asuka. I really enjoyed the match. It played off of the matches that they've been having, whether it's in tags when Kyrie was around or with them in general. And to be honest, like, this felt a lot like the Sasha layout of matches, where like there's a high spot, someone is causing a submission, and then we go from there. And that's like the crescendo, like the high peak of the match. And it was interesting seeing that, because it's like, you know, it would make sense that if they've been these best friends for so long and everything, that like, given that kind of the narrative that Samoa Joe has set for Sasha in her matches about how it's like, she's this great submission specialist that sets traps in her matches or whatever else. And then it works very well when you watch her with someone really good like Kyrie or Asuka, how like, you know, her matches always end up, you know, going to, oh my God, there's a submission, someone will make the ropes, or this is the end, you know, you're upon the peak of the match. But, yeah, I thought it was really good match. Like I say, they work very well together. They always have for what, 4 years now, 5 years going now, I think, between those two. You know, you end up with the finish where tracksuit Sasha ends up on the apron. You get the hip attack. Sasha makes sacrifice for her friend. Her friend then ends up getting the near fall. There's another attempt. Clears out Sasha again. She ends up getting rolled in through the ropes for some version of a schoolboy. And pinned. I thought it was a good match. I'd probably give it 3.5.
Yeah, that's what I gave it. Yeah, I'm just like, man, I knew there was going to be bullshit somewhere, right. But so, whatever. Like, they could have did a longer, better match if they wanted to, but, in service of what they're trying to do, that's what they did. And, Asuka has to lose before she wins the belt. And,
right. But they always, okay, so Brett against Owen, and then Yokozuna in WrestleMania 10, right? What we thought we were going to get at Royal Rumble 2014, but Daniel Bryan just was not in the fucking match, right? Becky at Royal Rumble, right? 2019, and then also at the pay-per-view immediately after, when she did double duty defending both belts against Lacey and then Charlotte. Like, they have this thing to where, like, we put somebody in two matches, they lose the first one, and then they'll win the second one. Like, that's like I don't know if I have a way better memory than they do, but that seems to be a kind of a
thing they do.
That they do, yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything special, but, they were doing storyline gimmickry, of course, with like these combination of these three women. So I guess after that, we had that tag match, Andrade and Garza against Street Profits. This is a Raw match.
Yeah.
Nothing really special here.
Yeah, two things I noticed was that, like, Andrade still out here trying super hard, which is like, God bless him. Just God bless him. He's still out here trying super hard.
Man, I would have been started mailing that shit in if I was him.
Yeah, to be honest, like, obviously it's a huge experience difference between both teams, but Andrade was still trying super hard, and, like, all four of them were trying hard, but it's like, yo, there's a difference when you know how talented Andrade is, where he's one of the 5 best people wrestling on this continent, that's from this continent, and it's like, and he's trying so hard. And then another thing I noticed is, like, Garza's like physique has improved a bit. I don't know what that was. Like, it's not like he ever had a bad physique. He always, but that kind of stuck out to me. But like, I thought the match, for a rematch of a match where they already dispatched them, I thought it was okay. It was, like you said, it was a TV match, but it was fun while it lasted. There were a few little moments with Montez, but yeah.
Yeah, next week.
I got a question. Did you want them to party in the crowd amongst the LEDs?
Yes, I did. I wanted them to go out there and start, jigging,
Yeah. So, how they started, F New Day, F the Revival. Given that the Street Profits did the ratings gimmicks from the sky, like, will there now be F the Street Profits in, like, one day they will meet somewhere between the Young Bucks and insert hot WWE tag team at the moment?
If they're doing cups, I would think that would be like Private Party, because that actually fits their gimmick.
Yeah, but then again, you want to stay away from that because they're just like, oh yeah, two black tag teams that like are roughly related around partying, so they're the same thing, even though I don't know how you think Mark Quinn reminds you of Angelo Dawkins. I just don't. But yeah, it's one of those vintage, Young Bucks gimmicks, so like you could get it hot. Let's say some things don't work out so well. All I'm trying to say is I wouldn't mind seeing the Street Profits and Bianca Belair in AEW. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You never know. You never know. Crazy things will happen.
Right.
So
yeah, we got Jon Moxley in AEW. WWFD, bro.
What a great! Did you listen to his interview with Dave?
Yeah.
What a great interview that was.
Yeah. He didn't sound miserable or awful and angry and never satisfied all the time, did he? Now, you ever notice in these interviews that he doesn't sound bitter and angry and nothing's ever enough for him? He always sounds content in the way that, like, WWE said he never was. Like, nah, bro, you're saying, I understand you think he's a complainer. He's complaining about the stuff that is stupid that he has to do. That's all he was complaining about.
And like, the last 12 months, like, that man's just been all around the world kicking ass, all points in between.
And he sounded super happy in every interview I've ever heard from him since he left.
Amazing how that works. I wonder what changed.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about it now. During the pre-show, they sent off Renee. It was very nice. And it felt sincere, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what she does, but, we all think she's a great, warm personality. So, like, whatever she does, like, she should have been the Aleister Black just turned heel on, Kevin Owens.
Gotta be a heel.
Oh my God.
Anyway, there's never been a heel once here.
So look at him. He's tattooed. Of course he's a heel.
He's evil.
What about The Undertaker? Well, that's different. It's The Undertaker. God damn it. What was I going to say? Yeah, but as far as Renee goes, she could be on ESPN. She actually talked about in the Players Tribune send-off, which is funny. Players Tribune, Renee Young, the interviewer. But
very nice column that she put out.
Yes, it was. She pretty much went down and listed all the things, like first Vince, then Hunter and Stephanie, then some of the talent, talked about her pride in talking smack, talked about Michael Cole and the relationship that she had as far as the mentoring for when she was the NXT to when she was doing the commentary, NXT to when she was actually got that Raw slot, talked about her, how her friendship with Graves, which, at the time they talked about, but I felt like was company face saving, but actually turned out to be, legitimate, and I kind of have to reevaluate my feelings on my hate for Graves, given how shitty that commentary was and was on trying to bury her. And not to say that I was wrong on feeling that it was shitty, because it was, but the feeling as far as like feeling like it was malicious and he was trying to bury her. So that's one. And then talked about literally being a part of the women's revolution and the rise of Becky and Sasha and the Four Horsewomen, and talked about others like Asuka and Natalya, and then talked about Moxley / Ambrose, and talked about how like I met, like, you know, think about like what this crazy life has brought me, and like from being with this company 8 years, like I cherish everything. I got my husband out of this, and you know, it's a lot of some of the things that Moxley said about meeting Renee in WWE, and talked about how on the Jericho podcast, but like, there are some things you know, it killed my love of wrestling for a time, whatever else, but like, my time there was not a waste. I got her out of it. He took the same, some of the same stuff there, and just very gracious, and talked about Daniel Bryan and talking smack, and AJ, and great interviews, how she felt like that was her niche as far as actually being able to get the real out, which is like, and you think about it, like, that's kind of why Vince saw it one night after it had been running for months and killed it, because it was like the best thing, like that additional stuff, because it was real. And then, you know, talked about, she plugged her cookbook, which said she was coming out soon, and then she said, like, I don't actually have real plans in place, but, you know, I feel like WWE has prepared me to be ready at all times for anything, so I'll put it to use, and she said, I'll see you soon. I thought it was a nice write-off letter.
Yeah. So since since everybody gets, you know, some type of hire in AEW, it seems like with like, the top people. So when does Mox get Renee in, to start doing some interviews? Or is that like this taboo subject that, no one wants to talk about? Cause I've seen a lot of like, you know, FDS folks rapping this, and she's too good for wrestling, like, you know. But meanwhile, she's good,
but she was good enough for sports entertainment. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's a whole lot of code being talked in right now. So you know, I think she can do whatever she wants. I know she has a no compete, so you probably wouldn't see her there for a while. But I would think at some point, Tony's gonna make a call. At some point, hey, do you want to come in and do something? Like, they'll create something for her. Especially like with Mox there, and Mox sounded like him and Tony Khan are really like tight. So
yeah, she can do whatever. She can do literally whatever she wants. If she wanted to do local news, that's in the bag. If she wants to do sideline reporting, like a Maria Taylor was once upon a time, or a Hannah Storm, or if she wants to do studio. If she wants to be like the face of whatever hockey show there is on TSN or whatever else, she could do that. She could do a bunch of things. She could be an anchor on SportsCenter if she wanted to. She could do sit down interviews with like wrestlers out of the business, and you know, and be the voice for that if she wanted to. Like, she can start up a Players Tribune for wrestling if she wanted to. She can do any of that shit. Like, she's gonna be fine. She's doing the cookbook.
Right.
I ain't never heard nothing about her cooking, not a damn thing, or her being some type of foodie or anything else until like that announcement a month or so ago. So like, whatever. Like, people like her. She's a likable person. The game is hers. She's figured out the most important thing. If people like you, you get to skate on a lot of stuff and get to do things that otherwise people that don't like you would try.
She came out here and was a horrible commentator, and you know what? We just kind of let it ride. Look, we said it was horrible.
Right.
We said, but overall, we just let it ride. Right. we like her.
And I'm gonna tell you about that, right? Back when I was doing the NXT Then Now Forever, I would watch her do commentary at the time, and her excitedness was, obviously she wasn't nearly as polished as Shivani, because Shivani had been doing it by the time I had heard him for over a decade at least. But like, there were a lot of Shivani-esque traits of a lot of the job, even though is a lot harder than people think it is, a lot harder than cutting a promo, because there's people in your ear and there's a lot of stuff going on, and you gotta also coordinate with other people. Like, a lot of the job is being excited, and she was excited in NXT. When she got to the main roster, when they're doing this stuff with Ambrose and Graves, and them like trying to like make her look bad on the strength of Ambrose, and like, obviously it's very hard to be good at commentary on the main roster anyway. Like, all of that stuff was working against her all together at the same time, and it was not good. But I never was like, oh, get her the fuck out of here, or she sucks. It was like, well, they tried it. I thought that she would have been better in the play-by-play role. They gave her color. She's not good at color, or she wasn't good at color at the time in WWE. But we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah. So, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville in a no DQ loser leave WWE match. It was changed from a hair versus hair. So, James, you didn't have to worry about them outdoing Arisa Nakajima and Nanae Takahashi. They changed it. Look, they changed it to make sure that we didn't have to come on the show and say, yes, James, it was better. So they did you solid right there.
Something I'm glad they avoided trying to go with the best women's match I saw in all of 2019. The only women's match I gave 5 stars last year. Man.
I liked it. I thought they came out there and they both looked serious. They, wanted to be physical. They, aside from Mandy Rose's V triggers, but, which totally missed by a mile.
Yeah, some of them totally missed. Yeah. There was also the goofy, or I don't know if it was just we're going to try this. We're going to see how it looks, but basically using the table laid out and using it as a bowling lane, the slide chair.
Yeah.
I need one of them to at least hit first. If one hit, maybe it makes it, but if we watch it, it's this is kind of silly. But it's a whole silly angle where there's we still don't even know who the fuck the person that Mustafa Ali was supposed to be as the hacker.
That's gone now.
Yeah, they've been throwing that away. They're done. But I appreciate the effort, but it wasn't a good match at all. I think that, but I do appreciate the fact that in this position, they typically would have done a match where someone wasn't actually wrestling. They would have tried to do all this contrived stuff to make it feel like we gotta, smoke and mirrors it up a bit as opposed to let them go out there and do their thing. And I've always thought that those two had the potential, if they give them enough time and whatever else, they could turn into some pretty good or some decent wrestlers, and they can put in main or in the title feuds or whatever else. In promo wise, Sonya has more than shown that she's capable of being in that type of thing. I still think they're trying to figure out what they're trying to do with Mandy, as opposed to be some version of arm candy. But
I feel like Mandy's in a bit of an identity crisis right now. Yeah. She just cut her hair short. She's trying to figure out this new gear, or it seems like she's trying to overhaul her presentation to a kind of a less sexy, more kind of serious type figure.
Right. I mean, and there is a pathway to success for that. Trish got herself out of that, but a lot of that also came with, going from valet to wrestler. But, it's going to take time, and we'll see how, they work at it and how committed they are to it. But, they finally gave her something as opposed to just being, alive. So much of it was based around her, her being a sex object as opposed to a wrestler or actually, three-dimensional woman. So
who could forget her trying to fuck Jimmy Uso in the fuck chair? Right. Who could ever forget this?
The temptress, the Ali Lauder. Yes. So yeah, I mean,
Sonya Deville gone in the short term. I'd imagine she'll be back eventually because they always go back on their steps.
I will say this: the circumstances are absolutely horrible. What happened to them in real life? I think we talked about it where someone tried to fucking kidnap and murder Sonya over the weekend or whatever else, or 2 weekends ago, whatever else, but. From a professional standpoint only, not real life, because fuck that. I can't say this. I'm gonna say is this. That stipulation was stupid. I'm not gonna say what I was going to say, but that stipulation was stupid for going to have them do a hair versus hair match anyway. They got out of it. I'm not gonna say any descriptors for what it was for to get out of it, because that just sounds terrible, but it was a stupid stipulation. They got out of it. This was better. And, no one buys for a second that either one of them is out of WWE if they had lost anyway. So, Sonya can go on and, try to heal from that gigantic traumatic experience. Same thing for Mandy as well. And hopefully, they come back stronger from it. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, just absolutely disgusting with this dude and this,
I still haven't read all the details of it. I only know just enough because I was like, yo, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
I know. See, I'm like the way people talked about, it's even crazier than what I know.
Right. But yeah, so up next we had Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio. So, I thought this one overall was good too. It was, they were heavy on the melodrama, I think, and I thought it was too much at times when his mama was coming out and all this other shit. But, so yeah, Seth Rollins carried this guy like luggage. It's funny because Dominic gets treated like a Make-A-Wish kid.
Yes.
I feel like
a lot. It's weird.
But...
It's very weird. It's very weird.
But yeah, like I thought this was pretty good. It was a Seth came out with the Halloween Havoc gear, which was funny. And that might have been like the best thing he's done since like who knows when. Since like the fucking gauntlet,
and outside of Between the Bells, you mean? Between the Bells ringing? Yeah, you got a point.
He's he's struggling. But yeah, I thought that there was a chance Dominic could win, but apparently that wasn't the way they were going to go with it. He was a loser in the end, so I guess they have to do another match, right? Ray has to eventually fight him in a regular rules match, maybe, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because they go from an eye for an eye to a street fight, so like, do they get this to Hell in a Cell? Do you think they can do that?
Ray versus you talking about Ray or Dominic?
Ray.
I mean, I guess.
What would you make of this match?
It was a match that I saw all of the flaws of the over drama, as you talked about earlier, and I still, while noticing it and noticing that they weren't really actually wrestling because they were more or less like, look, we're not even going to pretend to you that Dominic Mysterio or Dominic Gutierrez, whichever one he's going by, actually could stand a chance with Seth Rollins in a wrestling match in kayfabe. But what we will do is have this fucking idiot get so much of an ego that the kid gets some hope spots in, and the hope spots sustain you between the beating he's taking legitimately from kendo sticks and the like. And like if the goal of this match, which I assume it is, was to showcase that Dominic Mysterio is a young dude that you should root for because he has a ton of heart, then congratulations. You figured out why I love Stardom. Thank you. Youngins showing heart, getting their ass whooped, and then still fighting despite the fact they know they can't win, but they're giving their all. Thank you. Like, it ain't gotta be about the moves or the brutality. Sometimes it can't just be about showing how much heart you have. And I thought, a lot of times they don't really focus on like the underdog story in that way, where it's like the story is actually about him losing and it's actually about you wanting to, the person winning is supposed to like, he has to lose. Sometimes it feels like we have to beat him until the crowd gets a backlash and then they'll push him, as opposed to you have to display in the match why you should believe in someone. So I thought this was a better example of over the last, or pretty much since Daniel Bryan or Becky Lynch, really, like, of them figuring this one out in a positive way in a big spot. So I gave this match 2 thumbs up, given my expectations. I thought this was going to be a clusterfuck. It was not.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a disaster. Dominic looked okay. He looked clearly like a rookie or inexperienced person.
Right.
The thing, I thought his gear was kind of cool. He had like the hoodie on. Of course, they had to cover that man up because I don't know, what the physique looked like. Right. Actually, I do know what the physique looked like because they beat the shit out of this man the other week. So they had this man looking like Mustafa Ali out there.
Yes.
So Mrs. Mysterio, had you ever seen Mrs. Mysterio before?
I feel like I had seen Miss Mysterio before, and because I remember her being taller than Ray.
Yeah, like when they came in, when they came in, it looked like it was like a parent-teacher conference, and Dominic had been fucking up. So the mama had to come, and Rey's walking around the mask. Like, it's so funny because Rey Mysterio is like, he's so little, and then like it's always like young Rey Mysterio. Now this man's like in his 40s. Like, this shit don't even make sense, bro.
Right. One thing else I noticed about Mrs. Mysterio. You saw Mrs. Mysterio in that Louis.
Look,
you saw Mrs. Mysterio in that Louis.
Look, the Mysterio money is long at this point.
Yes, like I remember this made me think of the other week when you talking about you were talking about like Rey to come in and be a member of Dark Order. Not with all that Louis. No, sir. That is not a thing. That is not possible.
Yeah. So after that, we had Asuka and Sasha Banks singles match for the Raw Women's title, and this was way better than the Bayley match, I think.
It was a high. I feel like that was almost like part 2 and 3 of the full story. If you make those two matches one match,
Yeah. So,
a prologue for what is the main story. Yeah.
So Sasha loses the belt on the first defense again.
Yep. Is that over?
Just a meme at this point.
I got a question. When they won the women's titles at first, did they ever defend them?
They defended them once, I believe, and then immediately came off them.
So for singles titles on the main roster, Sasha is 0 for 5. 0 for 5. And every time she's been champion, it's been the Raw Women's title.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Seeing as how she won this one by, like, count out, I can't really, like, I can't drive the outrage wagon on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Asuka gets a belt again. They finally do a kind of clean finish here with Sasha and her, and thank God, because like I've been like just tired of seeing this combination of these three together, because like they can just never figure out how to end the matches. Like it's just too much. So where's Asuka go from here?
If I remember correctly, actually, I'm not remember correctly. I'm completely wrong with it, but I'm assuming it's going to be, Shayna or Nia as the next title challenger, and then after that, it'll probably be either time for champion versus champion, which means you'll get another Charlotte. Keith Lee just walked out on a Randy Orton promo. But anyway,
so here's where we get to see Randy Orton 3 inches taller than Keith Lee.
Yeah, because Keith Lee is well, no, it'd be more like because I've been face with Keith Lee.
The 7 foot Randy Orton.
He's not sorry. He'll probably be an inch or two taller, an inch or two, not 3, but at least 1. Anyway, so I think we're going to get Shayna or Nia. And then after that, we'll go to the Summer or Survivor Series format. So that's like a triple threat match of some kind. And then after that, you know what time it is. Her versus Charlotte at Royal Rumble, and Charlotte will beat her, of course. And then we'll go from there. Right? Is there any reason for thinking anything other than that will happen?
No. Yeah. So after that, we had Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton singles match for the WWE title, and I thought this was, at first, I thought it was big, slow WWE wrestling, and then it just got better at the end of the match. Neither guy ended up hitting their finisher, which kind of was lost on me until, at first I was like, just hit the fucking Claymore and win, but it seems like, it was a pointed thing to specifically do, because neither man, Dawn, neither guy did their finish up until that point. So, Drew McIntyre just solid as a rock, continues soldiering through. He's probably going to do a rematch with Randy Orton. But McIntyre also having, we're going to talk about later with Cody, with, what I think he did with the TNT title, McIntyre's been solid as fuck.
Yeah, he has. And it's just a shame that, all this shit's happening around because, as bad as WWE has been in 2020, one thing you cannot say that they fucked up is Drew McIntyre, winning his title or his championship reign. Everything they've done as far as putting that, making that dude look strong, him coming out, cutting promos, him coming out and having quality, title matches, and busting his ass even on tape on TV. He's done it. He's done everything we've ever really asked a babyface champion to do. Has it gotten over to where he's the next big sensation? No. Do I think anybody could do a lot better given the company that we're in? I don't really think so. So it's I think he's done a good job. I think that these pay-per-view matches have been very fun. Obviously, I kind of still want them to pay off the Lashley thing after that screwy finish they had, but there's still time for that.
And they haven't even given them the super opponents, in my opinion. They've given a lot of these old guys like Lashley and Seth and Ziggler and Orton. They haven't even dip into next generation talent that you imagine.
Right. You want that person to have great matches, go out there and have it with Mustafa Ali or Ricochet or Cedric Alexander or Andrade or or Aleister Black. That's one that's really there. Him and Aleister Black.
Yeah, they should definitely look into doing that.
That might be why they turned him heel. Right now, it's
maybe.
Maybe we did all that protection with him. We beat his ass. Now he's a heel. Maybe we have him beat Kevin Owens. That's another match there. Kevin Owens could be there too.
Wow, they changed Keith Lee's music.
Oh, I didn't know that. They also have him. Okay, they also have him out here with the Samoa Joe shorts on, as opposed to they still have his Keith Lee logo on him, but he's not in the super tight tights like he's 1999 Mr. Ass. So I honestly say I think from the look that's an improvement. People be like, "Oh, bruh, you need to relax, relax." But yeah, I think that there are still some future matchups I want to see out of this Drew McIntyre thing before it runs its course, and I still want to see a Randy Orton rematch. I thought the match was really fun. I thought that for as much we talk about Randy Orton was legitimate about slow matches, grinding it down to a halt. That dude has working shoes on and was out here hitting these ropes. And I appreciated that. It also did some things that are simple staples at Randy Orton, but done from different places that kind of freshen up the what you've known from him so long. I think that super, or not suplex, but that vertical suplex off of the table onto the floor, that was cool. I really did enjoy the fact where the first person who hits their finish is winning this match. And then ultimately at the end, nobody hits their finish. They both counter out of it and you hit a backslide. I really like that finish. That was Daniel Bryan, Bret Hartian level wrestling for that finish. I actually really enjoyed that finish. I don't know. I think a lot of people wanted to see, someone get punted or kicked in the face or RKO'd, but I enjoyed that finish.
Yeah. I'd probably give him 4 or 4 1/4 on that. So,
I'm probably at 3 3/4 on that.
Got you. And then the main event, which sucked.
Oh, yeah. Yep. But
but we knew it going in. We knew this going in.
Yeah. And looking back at it, given what we got post match to end the show, it had to go on last, in theory, right? They're not knowing what we know about them, Roman Reigns coming back has to go on last. It can't be, that's the second from the top, and then they go out there and finish with Randy Orton and McIntyre. They weren't doing that.
Yeah. So these guys have a slog of a match, only 12 minutes, but it felt like 30. I was confused about everything. Braun Strowman is a bad guy, but he's possessed by the Fiend. They were showing Alexa Bliss and her and the Fiend. Are they going to fuck? Nothing to do with the match. we were in Diesel Mabel territory. So, yeah, that's pretty much what this was. The Fiend wins the belt back. I was kind of shocked that he won.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't fucking know what they were doing with this shit.
Oh, I thought the second they were going to actually have a match, he was going to beat him. I was like, oh, they're taking the belt right off Strowman.
Has Strowman been like the worst champion ever?
Ever? I mean, there's still Jinder Mahal.
There is Jinder Mahal, but then who else we got?
Worst champions ever?
Like, bro, the match that he won the belt in, not a notable match in sight at all. Not even like a singles match that like the last time these guys wrestled on pay-per-view, not the Swamp Fight, was that a regular rules match?
It was, but then the puppets came out.
See,
so it's
that's the closest thing we got to a regular rules match,
right?
In the whole title reign. Yeah, man, this is bad.
Yeah,
completely no momentum. The most notable thing he did was cut his hair,
which is like that made no shockwaves. This was not like when Ludacris cut his hair. Not at all.
Right. This is not Allen Iverson showing up to the All-Star game and everybody's like, "Whoa, what happened to you?"
Right. One thing I want to make special note of, because it just irritated the hell out of me. It's the Fiend. It's a supernatural being. It is a person that can teleport. It is a person that is impervious to pain. A monster, a nightmarish monster, and then they brawl to the back, and then they go to the back with them to show that they're brawling in Vince McMahon's creative control room in the gorilla position. And I was like, we always talk about WWE, or pretty much any wrestling in general, about, if you have the supernatural stuff, occult stuff, or whatever else, that's one thing. Don't mix it too close with the reality, because then it starts making both look bad, right? Like, you don't really want to put, someone like a Sheamus or Alberto Del Rio in the ring with a Samoa Joe. Like, because it's going to make one or the other or both of them look bad. Later tonight is going to be Keith Lee versus Randy Orton, so we'll see how that goes. I'm assuming, given that, he laid out Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes in the ring and breaks up this match by beating Orton's ass. Anyway, to see
they want to shock me. They got a pay-per-view on Saturday. Book a fucking 3-way with those guys. They want to heat the business up. All right, we can heat that shit up real quick.
I'm not even going to ask. I'm not even going to ask who Andrade, but who Garza is with out here. That all I'm going to say is, that is not his fiance, and that is not Zelina Vega. You can Google it, Rich. Whatever. But yeah, what I will say is, it's just such a. It was like seeing a superhero villain like appear from out of some other realm, because Firefly Funhouse is a different fucking dimension, right?
Right.
And then it's all of a sudden like, oh yeah, he's in the back. Oh yeah, he's doing a fucking wrestling match. Why is the demon / nightmarish soul doing a wrestling match? Why is he not trying to take over souls or control the world or whatever or eat a star? This makes no sense. Whatever.
Everything about the Fiend sucks.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there are some things that I at the first, like visually or whatever else at the beginning, that I thought were interesting or were, something that.
This entrance was so fucking long to this match. Like,
I didn't even realize it wasn't longer than Randy Orton's entrance though. That was the one entrance I was like, Orton is going slower than he normally is, which is like, that doesn't bother me, but y'all always talk about how slow it is, but it was slower than, I didn't notice the Fiend one, but yeah, I just, that one just stuck out to me as like, I'm the only person that's like realizing how stupid this was, and then I think you replied like everything about the Fiend sucks. I was like, yeah, but like this is particularly egregious though. Like, I understand what you come from, all of this dumb, but it's like this one is incredibly dumb. Like this was the one that bothered me the most since like the Miz. He had broken to the Miz house and messed with his daughter by putting a toy and whatever, and then all of a sudden Miz comes out and he does this little spin and point on the top of the ramp. Like, this is the one that bothered me the most since then. So maybe it's just a me thing, but I was like, yo, this is fake.
I remember that.
Didn't I get up and leave? Did I leave Jeremy? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Drove right back from Tampa. 20-minute drive.
Yeah. Then, imagine secondary, they flipped the belt to Wyatt. Then Roman Reigns shows up out of nowhere, wearing a new t-shirt, got the new teeth, as we mentioned earlier, and he started whooping that ass. He hits the Fiend with a spear. He knocks Strowman out outside the ring, yells something at him like, I made you.
Yes. He said, you're only a monster when I'm around. That's what he said.
Yeah. Then he gets back in the ring with the Fiend and he says, he grabs the Universal Championship, said, this has always been mine and you couldn't hand over the responsibility. Immediately, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, the responsibility, fuck off with all that. I don't want to.
Insider stuff.
Like, insider stuff with the fucking Fiend.
Yep.
Like
you said,
fuck
it
off.
all sucks.
Like, completely.
It all sucks.
Like, completely. Just go, like, leave that one out next time, Roman. But I was happy to see him back. I popped when I saw him, and apparently, like, the co-opted WWE media, including like the UK journalists and several other people, are pushing this thing that Roman Reigns has turned. This is heel Roman Reigns.
Look, I'm not going to declare him a heel until he's actually a heel.
Like we have very clear things in WWE that tell you someone is a heel. When they're talking about you people, when they're, when, you know, and people are claiming that boos were piped in, I didn't hear any of that.
I don't recall.
You know, beating up Braun Strowman, who's been a heel, and beating up the Fiend,
who's
been
a heel. A literal fucking horror story villain.
I don't understand how that equals Roman Reigns is also a heel. I would think, you know, the negative plus negative is positive, but you know, apparently in this world, you know,
and think about
Roman Reigns is a bad guy now.
Right. And think about his history with those two. Him beating the hell out of those two does not make anybody a heel if you're him. It's like, this motherfucker attacked me after I, you know, I thought I retired The Undertaker, and then he flipped my fucking stretcher. He flipped the fucking stretcher over, which caused me to, like, months later, you know, try to murder him via backing him into you know, a semi trailer, right? They got old country beef.
Which is less than hitting someone with a chair, right?
Right, and he was still a babyface then. Remember when Angle came out there and said, you tried to fucking murder him? He's like, that's how y'all handling the Attitude Era. What? What? Like,
bad logic.
He was still supposed to be a babyface then. He's like, yeah, so it's like, I'm not trying to hear that this is
a baby face. This is Vince McMahon's face of the company.
Right. I'll rephrase that. It's not that I'm not willing to hear it. Is that I will not believe it until I see it for real. And I don't need to be fed that, like, or you know, are being talked about and speculated about it until it actually happens. Cause it's like, it doesn't really matter until we see for sure, right? Like, who cares?
Like, eventually he'll get a promo, right?
Right. The main thing is Roman appears to be back. We don't know in what capacity. I'm glad to see the dude. I'm also glad to see that man has them movie star teeth in, and he might not be long for this. This might just be, I'm here to get a final check and I'm gone. Good for him.
I forgot. He
the shirt. Wreck everything and leave, which I saw that shirt and I thought, that's interesting. Like, the person that's like, they've effectively used to ruin your career, or your peak potential value, that could have been his shirt. That should be a Brock Lesnar shirt. Wreck everyone and leave.
Yeah.
Which then brings me on to the question I posed inside of the thread, which nobody actually asked. I asked, since Brock has returned in 2012, when he returned, to now, who has he actually gotten over aside from Bill Goldberg in 2016?
Nobody.
Which then posed me to come up with the list of all the people he's had like pay-per-view matches with or feuds with since he came back. If you just give me a second, I will pull it up. And
Brock Lesnar has been nothing but an overvalued attraction that isn't as big of an attraction as Vince McMahon thinks he is.
Right. It's like he's Hogan in WCW with Bischoff, except like Hogan drew huge. At least at the beginning. Like, Brock never actually did that. Or he drew big at first, and then after that, like, after like the first 2 years, nah. Okay, so, John Cena, Triple H, CM Punk, The Undertaker, Roman Reigns, he helped get under. Seth Rollins, he did not get over. Dean Ambrose, he effectively buried, or let me phrase that, he cooled his jets tremendously.
Look, Seth Rollins beat this man clean as fuck last year at SummerSlam, and it's like it never happened.
Right, because we also remember like what happened in 2015 with them too. Yeah. It's like, nah, bro, these are the same things. Which is like one of the, that actually was a really good match. It might have been a 4-star match. Just like by that point in time, Seth had ruined himself so badly it didn't matter. Yeah.
I don't know if I can blame Brock for that one then, maybe.
Yeah, but he didn't get him over. And the question wasn't where he ruined people, it was whether or not he actually got them over. And the question is, no, he didn't get him over. Randy Orton, SummerSlam 2016, when he bashed his head in. Nope.
But the company felt like they had to reward Randy Orton with the WWE title at WrestleMania the next year.
Was he any more over? No. And the things that actually would have gotten Orton over was like the long form story he had for months with Wyatt, where they did, the Survivor Series, Soul Survivor stuff, the hemorrhaging, fracturing of the Wyatt family with getting rid of Luke Harper, the match with Luke Harper. The double turn angle they shot where there was no actual double turn. Like, whatever. And then we'll move on from there. Goldberg, he got him over. Samoa Joe, no. Samoa Joe should have been strapped after that.
Samoa Joe got himself over.
Yes. And then, Braun Strowman, no. Like, you think about that destructive summer. Get Joe. He beats Joe, he pins Roman, he beats Strowman, is like, and Cena left, and it's like, you gonna look at the Google, trend. That shit fell off a cliff once that all happened that summer. Kane, fuck no. Finn Balor, fuck no.
Got that man back to NXT.
Right. This banned to the Shadow Realm. Banned to the wrestling school is like the wrestling school. Randy Orton. All right, so Kofi, hell no.
Got that man. Look, beat that man so bad that Kofi didn't even want to talk about it on national television afterward. Yeah, are we still waiting for him to like to finish the story of him crumbling the pancake, or are we done and we off that? I want all y'all that was tweeting that bullshit to come holler at us. Let us know where it's at.
Yeah, it's gonna lead to something. It's gonna lead to these tag team matches. That's what it's gonna lead to. Cain Velasquez, hell no. Rey Mysterio, great moment, but he didn't get Rey Mysterio over.
Rey Mysterio been over. Rey Mysterio been over for 25 years. Like,
right. Drew McIntyre.
The jury's out. The jury's
out. He's doing a good job, but there's nothing to say he actually got him over. And then also added in that, because I missed it on my initial pass, was like the Survivor Series matches in back-to-back years between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and those guys are already made and already over. They didn't get more over after those matches. They were great matches, but they didn't get them over.
Yeah.
So, fun. Yeah. A lot of these matchups and everything were fun matches or whatever else, but like some of these matches he was positioned with to get them or to, raise someone's profile or stock or blah, 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 blah. Nah. Like I had Tom actually mentioned like maybe, the interaction in the Royal Rumble with, Keith Lee might be one that people might throw out there, but that's bullshit too. And I was like, thank you for acknowledging that. Also, that would too be bullshit. Thank you.
I am kind of, Roman Reigns was like winning the most by like, he is kind of ruining his elite level working credentials here by showing back up. Yes. Because
he got to come back so they know.
He could have watched this thing descend even further without him.
Well, I think the thing might be like, if I come back, I can start the clock back on, the holdover in the years, right? Because, you don't know how it gets to a point where they might say, you owe us 4 months. Or actually, given the 8 months, given the cancer thing, they might hold him for the cancer. Wow. I would love for them to hold him up for 8 months.
No, because he's re-signed a new deal since then.
Okay. All right. I would love to be like, yeah, he owes us 8 months. Well, I know 4 months are for this pandemic thing. What's the other 4? For the cancer? You fucking villains. All right, but okay. All right, cool. I'm glad we ain't got to worry about that. So
yeah. So his elite level working career, I would have liked to see him see them folks fall a little bit more, and they be like, so y'all had this whole pandemic without me. What's up? What we gonna do? What plan you got for me? And apparently the plan is immediately fight for the Universal title with these two guys. I believe they announced it for Payback this week. Why don't they just get it the fuck out the way and just put the belt on Roman Reigns?
Better question is like, what does Braun Strowman have to do with this? Like, he lost. Obviously, Roman beat his ass outside the ring after that. But, like, aside from that, like, he should be removed from the paint, right? Like, I believe if you disagree, you let me know. I believe that Roman Reigns in a singles match with either Braun Strowman, especially Braun Strowman, or Bray Wyatt, to a far lesser extent Bray Wyatt. But a singles match with Roman versus Braun or Roman versus Bray is somehow is better than a match between 3 strong motherfuckers in the ring together of those 3. Like, I feel like that make those 3 together make for a worse match.
I think the only way I would disagree is because it would be no rules, so they would be able to do lots of shortcuts and whatever the fuck they want.
Smoke and mirrors and monster spots between the Fiend and Roman and Braun. You gotta, you make a good point.
I would have Roman Reigns pin both of these guys, stack them on top of each other, and stand on their chest like the Ultimate Warrior. Bro, what did they have to lose by having Roman Reigns just start fucking beating the fuck out of people? Like who's next? Who wants it?
Bro, I have no problems with whatever. Like, I have no problems with whatever. Look,
it's the only thing they haven't tried.
Look, the title shot. Who cares?
Yeah.
Whatever they want to do.
Cool thing. I believe Voice of Wrestling pointed out the WWE Universal Championship has a lower overall score than the WWE 24/7 Championship. They have a 2.62 compared to a 3.67. The Universal Championship is the worst modern booked belt throughout the lineage.
It's poorly booked
and it's cursed.
Right.
And it's unlucky. Right. And it's like a complete sham all in one.
Right.
Right. Just,
look, you want me to say it? You want me to add on to commentary that? You're absolutely right on that. It's been bullshit the whole 4 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
we're not actually now think about it. It's literally a 4-year anniversary.
4 years.
SummerSlam. 4 years of not excellence, but bullshit. Yeah.
Yes. That is not excellence.
Speaking of not excellence, 6-woman tag match. Bianca and the remainers of the Riot Squad, which is Liv and Ruby are back together. Even though they shot an angle where they're she turned on her, but never mind that.
Amazing what happens when you change bookers.
Yeah. So you have that, and guess who their opponents are, Rich?
I don't know the heel roster.
Zelina Vega and the
Lana.
Iconics.
Oh my god! All right, All right. If you want to talk about sorry women's divisions, all right.
Hey, Bianca's in this ring. Don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Bianca's in this ring.
Look, she can't carry all that shit by herself. Look, I know she's strong. I know she's the strongest, the fastest, But she's got Zelina and the Iconics to work with.
Nah, look. Points were made. Points are being made. I want AEW to find them a Bianca for you pop that jersey first though. All right. So, better get, look, ain't none of these SEC, women that are doing track or doing anything right now. You might as well, get on the phone, make some calls. You better go look, Shivani can't get on the phone and talk to the AD in Georgia right now.
I think that would be a job for Jim Ross. He would love to do something like that.
No. He gonna get Big 12 athletes.
Oh, okay.
I need a SEC athlete. It's a difference. I don't want to say the SEC slogan, but it just matters. But there's a difference in the SEC track and field, women's athletes in the Big 12. It's just a difference. Anyway,
Takeover.
Summerslam. I thought, good. Enjoyable show, most enjoyable. I'm glad. I was pleasantly surprised by the SummerSlam because, some of these half-ass SummerSlams we've been getting the last few years, a lot of the desire for the second or third biggest show of the year.
Yeah, and they were on a literal horrible run of shows with Money in the Bank, the Payback show, the fucking Extreme Rules. Yes. Okay. Just awful shows for the sake of being all time bad. But yeah.
Also, one thing I noticed about this SummerSlam being really good, no Brock Lesnar.
Amazing how that works.
And you think about these Brock Lesnar finishes over the last few years, for example, 2014. He squashes Cena for 16 minutes, where he sits around standing around for 10 minutes. You have the Undertaker thing where he makes the fucking zombie tap out, and the ref doesn't see it, and he low blows him, and he makes him pass out. But he gives a middle finger before he passes out. There is where he splits Orton's head open in the fucking main event, 2016.
Fatal 4-way.
That match was fine. I have no problems with that. But the year after that, you have the shit, the cash in and run off the air, the scam, summer scam. So it's I don't think it's a coincidence, not to tie it all together with the Brock shit I gave before. I don't think it's a coincidence we got brought the fuck out of here, for a SummerSlam, and it turned out pretty smooth sailing considering what we've been dealing with.
You know what else would be smooth sailing, James?
Oh God, what? Don't you do it? Don't you dare do
it! Once you get down with the Manscaped, so support for One Nation Radio is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family's jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. And if you think I forgot, no, I did not. They've got that electric trimmer. They've spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. Just like, Brock Lesnar wasn't at SummerSlam. You don't want that hair down there anymore. Just completely gone. So, and we're doing a really cool thing, with the, in conjunction with the Manscaped promotion, where you guys will get the AEW All Out pay-per-view. All you have to do is show that you made some kind of purchase from Manscaped using the code SUPLEX. And we will order the first 5 people to send in, to socialsuplex@gmail.com, I believe is the, email address. If you can show proof of purchase, we will pay for your AEW All Out, pay-per-view. So don't miss it. Take advantage of that and, and clean yourself up. God damn it. So you get, 20% off, free shipping with the code suplex at manscaped.com. If you don't want to buy, the handy buzzer and keep it on you like I keep it on me, you don't have to do that. They've got a lot of different products on there. They've got the crop preserver. They've got, I believe, stuff for your beard. They have just tons of stuff. So 20% off, free shipping with the code suplex at manscaped.com.
I have no words.
Smooth.
And
just like the ocean.
Oh my god. Wow. Was that a Santana and Raw Thomas?
It sure was.
Oh
James, it sure was. Trying to be clever when I can,
Oh my god. All right, so moving on from more WWE shows, NXT Takeover 30. What, it wasn't 30? Oh, is it 35
yeah, it was.
or 30?
It was. I was just groaning at the overall show.
Okay. First match, Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. This match was not the tough white man match. This match was what people that did not like this match thought the tough white man match was. There was, first things first. I don't know who the fuck mic'd this show, but they did a terrible job. Like the audio was missing the whole night on filling, so it was really hard to fill and convey like how hard strikes were, how hard certain bumps were, and it, like, I noticed it at the beginning of the show, it never actually changed, even during the latter match where people are fucking murdering themselves, and then to watch SummerSlam and to see, like some of the stuff that Asuka and Sasha were doing, like the Sunset Flip Powerbomb, and like, it was night and day difference. I don't know what was going on, and I imagine
they skipped out on the budget they'd have brought all the production people, everybody to Amway, and say, y'all fend for y'all fucking selves with the kids, the students.
Yeah, and that's another one. Like, you gotta look. If you're gonna have the Thunderdome, NXT needs to be in the Thunderdome. And the whole idea is that y'all have this whole space rented and all that shit, and y'all need to quote unquote compete or not compete. Y'all are trying to, y'all are trying to play keep away and kneecap AEW. You know what will help kneecap AEW? Having an audience that doesn't fucking suck during your shows. I'm tired of these kids, bro, or not kids, but like these students at the wrestling school. I'm tired of they have no background, they have not watched wrestling, what the fuck's going on. I'm tired of these crowds, bro. They suck. I finally reached critical mass where I can no longer take this crowd. And to be honest, they've sucked ever since ever since they've been around, especially during In Your House. But like this put it over, like, to see the match that some of these matches are and the quality of match I thought they were, and then compared it to the audience, it was like, nah, bro, this is impossible. You should not be doing this. This is bad. This is bad. Like, I don't know why you can't put the shit in the Thunderdome. Put the shit in the Thunderdome for takeovers and for the show. Like, it will greatly improve the presentation of the card of the show, both shows, takeovers or whatever else. Like, I feel like in front of a crowd, that ladder match, and we'll get to it, but like that ladder match would have been one of these, like, oh yeah, that's a match of the year contender for WWE. They fucking murdered each other. But that's just Thatcher match. It was too much of Finn Balor trying to do catch wrestling, and I just felt like it just didn't really match what we've seen out of Finn Balor over the years. And he didn't really sell it as if he was his babyface fighting for his life to get away and get some separation, to be able to get his athleticism and the little bits of flying that he still does in. It just, for me, it didn't work. I felt like they grounded him to a halt, and it didn't show. And it's cool that like he wanted to show that he can also wrestle with the dude, but like it just didn't work. It just didn't work.
Totally confused about Finn Balor and what the fuck he's doing at NXT at this point.
That's another thing.
Josh had brought up to me, he says he thought that, maybe is a case where they didn't want him to leave. So they were like, we'll give you what you want. You only got to show up like, X amount of times, maybe twice a month, if that, do a match, you get to be in Orlando. You don't have to travel. And it makes perfect sense when he said that, but like they have no idea what the fuck they're doing with him, whether it's in kayfabe, and then all his promos are fucking weird. And then this match, I did not like it. I thought it was just a bunch of people holding each other, and I was like, I'm bored. I started picking up my phone. And then like Timothy Thatcher, he just loses. I thought they were, pushing this guy kind of. Guess not. I don't know.
Yeah, this was the match that Finn Balor absolutely should have lost. He did not, and that also, I'm flat out. I'm giving negative marks on winners and losers. I normally don't do that. I normally talk about the match and then compartmentalize it, and then move on to the booking decision after that. But no, this match was substandard for what you thought you were going to get. It wasn't what I was expecting, and that's okay, but it just did not necessarily work, and I think a lot of it has to do with some of the miking stuff I was talking about earlier, cause like, you look at Finn's Balor, and granted, Finn's super pale, so a lot of those marks show up when he gets whooped, but like, Thatcher was giving him a beating, I didn't feel it. I just did not feel it. And that hurt the match, because like, so much of the match was supposed to be based on, that, and I just never felt that. But yeah, like, moving on to the actual, decision is like, alright, so Balor's just not allowed to do jobs. He's just not. Like, he's not allowed to do clean jobs for not a damn soul. Like, he drops Johnny on his fucking head. Well, you can move before that. Like, he drops Johnny on his head. That match gets canceled. He beats Riddle. In retrospect, that was the right decision. Fuck Matt Riddle. But whatever. Like, at the time, what we knew is what we knew at the time, and at the time, they didn't make much. That was not a smart booking decision, given that Matt Riddle and Keith Lee should have been the future of the brand. So from there, he gets his title shot. He loses it because Johnny Gargano comes out, sets up that match. He beats the shit out of Johnny. It makes like they're not even the same fucking class. Great match, whatever, but still, he made it seem like the whole story of the match is like Johnny, Mr. NXT is no match. Beat the man
so bad he had to turn the same night.
Right. Then I'm trying to think, what was supposed to be his WrestleMania Takeover match? I don't even remember. Was supposed to be Velveteen? No, that was later.
It was supposed to be. I thought it was Walter.
That's right. Yeah. It's supposed to be Walter. It was.
Cole, right?
It's supposed to be Walter. So I can't. Whatever. Walter ain't gonna do a job. Probably. Like, they're not putting over fucking NXT UK's champion over. Like, no, they're not doing that. So you have that. So that sucks. And then you get like the Damian Priest thing where like, they had I really enjoyed that match at, In Your House. But you look at the story where it's like, the whole story was, look how impressive Damian Priest was losing to Finn Balor, which is code for, we ain't beating Finn Balor. But the person we want to really push for the future is Damian Priest, but we can't because we can't.
And then he literally wins the title next time.
Right. Which is telling you that we weren't allowed to beat Finn Balor. Then you get this Thatcher match where like Thatcher sends, Thatcher was one of the best people, like even during the downtimes of this pandemic thing, like with the tough white man matches, the Riddle shit, like in the ring, he's one of the better performers in the company as far as like top notch matches this year and output. He has a character, he's big and he's ugly and ripped and jacked. Nope, do this job. I didn't like this. Like, where do they go from here with him?
Yeah, it's like you have to have him fight for the championship, right? Because what other baby faces does NXT have right now?
Well, given that, what happened with Cross, maybe he is the next NXT champion. Maybe Balor is the next NXT champion. Whereas at this point, honestly, I thought that was where they were headed before they decided to do this thing with Cross, but now that Cross is hurt, it's like, well, you're looking at another option. You can't go back to Adam Cole. Hell no.
Yeah, he's done in this town, Jack.
He just went fucking 15 minutes with a fucking rookie. Having his first match. Hell no. You can't go to Johnny. You've nerfed him to death. Oh. So you're out, Keith Lee out the building. Matt Riddle's out the building. What are you gonna do? Put on Cameron Grimes? Put the belt on Finn Balor now. They almost have no choice, but if Cross is hurt, they have to put the belt back on Balor.
Yeah, and we'll get to that later.
Years, but yeah.
Yeah, so separated shoulder, 3 months, I'd guess. So yeah, moving on to the ladder match, North American title match. I knew there was a lot of ladder matches that had took place in NXT. Josh had actually also looked that up. 7 in the last 12 months. That's kind of what this match just felt like for me. Like, I didn't get the vibe that anyone was like crazy or some shit that was happening that wasn't supposed to happen. I like a good stunt show where everything, it just felt so clean and like rehearsed. It wasn't like, I didn't get the big jaw dropping moment until like Velveteen fell, and that was like, ooh, well, it's Velveteen.
Wait, you mean the spot where, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because for me, like, when Candice gets in the ring and does her spots, gets cleared out, and then comes back and makes a save on Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed, 300 plus ass, does a splash from, I don't know, 10 feet high onto Johnny with his wife on his back. I pop crazy for that. I thought it was like the spot of the night. You know, you have the Damian Priest thing where he does his rope walk thing, except he does it on a ladder. Like you mentioned, the Velveteen thing. I love this match, and I thought this match would have been way better in front of a live crowd. Like, I thought this was like, and I also think about their tag team ladder match from Takeover 25. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this kicked the shit out of that, and I gave that 4 1/4. Like, I or maybe I gave it 4. I think I actually gave it 4. I can't remember, but like, I thought this match was way better than that, because, you know, they had that stupid thing with Buddy from Forgotten Sons all in the fucking match all over until they beat his ass.
I remember
Gunner or Jackson Riker. But like, I thought this was way better than that match. So, you know, I'm going off in a vacuum off the score. Like, I'm giving that shit at least 4 1/4. I love that match. Like,
yeah, I think I gave that one 3.75. Yeah, I don't know. It was just the whole show. There was just like, it was a lot of stuff was hard to get into, but
that's happened. You have a shitty crowd, bad audio. And like, no, I'm not saying like, you know.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was
from that shit. Just
I don't know if it was the audio for me, because I didn't even really notice that. But yeah, it was just like overall, it's like, what is this place trying to be? Like, so.
You know what they're trying to be? They're trying to be, don't watch AEW at this point instead of actual promotion. Like, that's what they fully devolved in that over the last, like, especially basically since Rhea won the title or after Royal Rumble when so you can say it's either Portland, or you can say it's when Rhea showed up and challenged Charlotte. But like, there's a clear, I'm not even saying there's a line delineation between once they hit TV and hit 2 hours, because they were out here and having kick-ass shows. But like, once they hit Portland, or if you want to say Charlotte and Rhea go face-to-face after the Royal Rumble, everything's changed since then. And like, I'm not saying they never have good shows, because they still have good shows more times than not, but like,
don't tell me this is the same as it was.
Everything is about counter-programming as opposed to trying to tell long-form stories. And everything has been, you know, there was always some of the stuff where, like, we'll pull somebody out because it's still developmental, and that's fine. But, like, the answers to this stuff is, like, always some scramble to try to compete and fuck with AEW, as opposed to just running your fucking show when you were the best wrestling promotion I'd ever seen in, like, for a long form period of time. Like, 2018-19 NXT is not there right now, and it's just not.
Yeah, it's gone. And yeah, like, and that next wave of talent, like, it's not coming the way it was always coming in the past. So,
well, good thing they have 1 million motherfuckers already stashed anyway.
Yeah.
They got 3 more years of TV based off of talent they still got around not doing shit, so I ain't crying for them.
Look, why don't y'all do something with Madonna Swerve? How about that?
Yeah.
You know, got squeezed off the takeover here.
Like, it shouldn't take, well, trying to think, whose first takeover was it? Or second takeover was it?
Pat McAfee's, right?
Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to think. There's somebody I made specific mention of. I thought about. Oh, like, yeah, Bronson Reed. Yeah. This is Bronson Reed's first takeover. This was like this would have been
Grimes.
This Cameron Grimes' first one. This was Damian Priest. It would have been his third, but because of the pandemic and WrestleMania, this was his second takeover. Like, he's been around almost 2 years. Was he in the same class as Riddle in?
He came around the same time as Riddle. Yeah,
yeah,
a little bit after them.
2 years, 3 takeovers. It don't take this long to get somebody over on fucking NXT. You know how I know this? Because Karrion Kross is the fucking NXT champion right now. You didn't take 2 years to get him over.
7 career matches. Promises were made, James.
And I'm not saying about, like, you know, Karrion Kross is a radio, whatever else. I don't even fucking know. But my point is, it's still the same. Like, it don't take that long to get motherfuckers over. You have an old guard that you phase down, but you have not replaced even though you phase them down. You phase down, Ciampa. You phase down Gargano. Finn Balor was fighting for the North American title. Your boy, Adam Cole's fighting a fucking, debut wrestler. They've all been clearly phased down. Replace them. Now is the time.
So they did run an ad for Tommaso Ciampa coming back Wednesday, and who fucking destroyed him? Cross.
Right.
They're probably going to go to that.
Well, maybe not.
True.
Because Cross might be gone from us.
Yes.
Right. We don't know. Fuck. We don't know if he's going for if he's back tomorrow, if he's going to be gone for 9 months. We have no idea.
Whatever you do, Triple H, do not book Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh my
please. So up next, we got Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. A total surprise here. I did not hate this as I thought I would. I thought McAfee was, I think he has some pro wrestling talent. I think he is definitely someone that can talk. For damn sure.
Yep, that's true. Absolutely.
It like he's got it. Like as far as like if you wanna make some money with a guy, you wanna build a program, have him talk, you wanna have him do heel stuff and be like he ain't no like small dude, like they might want to see if he actually wants to do this.
Already an elite level promo. Right? Already. Yes. In the ring, he's basically out there in this generic starter kit, American wrestler starter kit. And to me, like they put smoke and mirrors around it to enhance the match. But, to me, I thought the match was like, as far as sports entertainment is concerned, 2 thumbs up. As far as a wrestling match, nothing mattered until he landed on the top rope and then did the, superplex. Or, you know, got flipped off, landed on his feet, ran up, and did the superplex, or whatever else. But, like, dude just gotta learn how to wrestle. He don't know how to wrestle yet. Like, he knows how to do spots, he doesn't know how to wrestle yet. And, like, there is something to be said about if he were somewhere else, or what he would be able to do with what he can already do, and where he is, and what they're going to end up probably doing with him if he goes down this path for real. But can't say anything but a positive, right? Like it was similar to the Dominic thing. Where it was like these are 2 people that are green. They were in the ring with 2 great wrestlers, and they were able to, with melodrama or with smoke and mirrors, get the best out of their match. Like they optimized what they had, and good for them. Was it something that should have been on a takeover card? Fuck no. But whatever. Like we said, we are now post that era of NXT. They're running counter programming as opposed to actually being a wrestling promotion. So
yeah,
that's where we are.
I definitely liked it better than Balor and Thatcher, which is like absurd when you think about it.
Right.
I thought it was on par with the women's match. I think I like this more than you. Well, I gave this 3.5.
Well, there are also things that okay, so he has your boy on the apron, chest out. He's about to kick him in the chest again, and then he runs, and then Adam Cole ducks so his foot hits the steel steps. Okay, so if Adam Cole didn't move, he would still hit the steel steps. What the fuck? That makes no sense. So there's stuff like that in the match. It's like that. I get it. It's a spot, but it looked so bad, and it made no sense. But like, I still give it like 3. Like it was a fun sports entertainment match, but as an actual match, it's just like Nah, I'm not. Don't put that in Tokyo Dome.
Funny comment. So Pat McAfee was getting some praise. I think it was maybe from Sam Roberts. They were like, "Give Pat McAfee $1 million contract" or some shit like that. And Britt Baker retweeted it and said,
"Give Adam Cole $1 million contract." Yes,
correct. Britt Baker with the through the legs Jordan like dunk.
Yeah,
from Michael Jordan herself.
Yes, another reason why we talk about some of their commentators or people that are like analysts for WWE pre-shows or commentators are the fucking worst. For years on the pre-show, McAfee is the good guy analyst that predicts the babyface to win, and and Sam Roberts is the heel person that says that these baby faces have no chance, or flat out just says shit like certain people don't deserve anything because they're black. But we can move on from that. So it comes down to it, and they've been arguing for years, as we talked about. And when it came down to the prediction on the pre-show, this dumbass Roberts picks McAfee and says that Adam Cole doesn't stand a chance after he's rooted for and said that Adam Cole is going to win every match for the last 2.5 years or year and a half that he's been doing this shit. It was like, you can't even pick the right person to stick with what you've done as far as on this show. You just in my mind, I have to pick heels because I'm a dumbass. It's like, oh, this is why people hate you on this show.
Yeah,
you don't use your brain. That thing's for thinking. That thing is for thinking.
This was the only match that I ended up caring about, going into the show, coming out of the show. This one to
be bad, right?
No, this one, I was rooting for. I thought Cole was a geek. In the lead up, I thought McAfee's promos were more effective, and it was a shocking surprise that I liked. And then I don't know. I still thought Cole was a geek for blowing his stack on the whole short thing, right. And this is supposed to be the babyface now, and then right. You see the video package, and he's been insulting this guy for fucking years,
right?
So it's it's all fucked.
They're both heels. They're both heels.
So yeah, that's why I was like, man, Pat McAfee. Look, I always felt like Pat McAfee will fold this man's chest in, so I was like, I'm going for McAfee, but he didn't win. So
you won't believe it, but guess what's back this week?
The Raw Underground.
Yes, I cannot believe they're sticking with this stupid shit.
I feel like the steam is running out.
I hope. But yeah, thumbs up, and good luck and good job for McAfee. I don't know where this goes. I don't know if I actually want to see this. Give him a couple matches and move him to the main roster. Get him away from what this is supposed to be. This is that is not no BS. That is all the BS. That man is that man is a born ready sports entertainer. That man is basically if Miz had lifted weights when he was in high school. That is, and it was somewhat coordinated. That's perfect match for all that.
This man,
NXT, don't want to see it.
You can definitely see it. He has real gifts, but he could easily get fucked up. And
you know what the real gifts are?
What?
He's actually athletic and coordinated, and we vastly overrate what a lot of these motherfuckers in this wrestling ring actually are. It's
look, sure, it's funny to see Adam Cole in there with a real athlete,
right,
quote unquote.
Right. It's you go back in retrospect, you be like, man, I probably could have did this shit.
Yeah, bro.
Because you got these motherfuckers. And I'm like, bro, there's no way. But whatever. Really, I'm not even going to get into the weeds of that, but whatever. Yeah, next match after that was NXT Women's Championship, Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. Match is about match starts off and Io basically pulls a page out of the Maya Iwatani school of doing a botching a spot and before the match actually gets started, and you're like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then at the end having a great match at the end somehow. She does the move that she's, the come off the ropes, hit a back, or does the flip or whatever else she always does, and ends up finishing with a drop kick. She lands on her fucking head, and it was so jarring to see her miss that, because she's one of the most smooth wrestlers ever. That I was like, is she okay? Is she concussed? When she landed on her head, I honestly was worried for probably the first 5 minutes of the match, whether or not she was like, okay. Cause it's like so jarring, like, you missed that simple thing up? The thing I've seen you do many times, but whatever. Magic works around like her bad left wrist or elbow. She isn't working over her left's arm the whole throughout the match. Dakota Kai. It was very much we're going to teach you how to work as a babyface, from working underneath, from being worked over on. I'm glad they didn't do her legs, because that's like the dumbest thing ever to work Io Shirai's legs. And then she does all the shit she does on running and jumping and flipping. But it was basically just a typical, not typical, but like a WWE championship match where a babyface is working from underneath with a bad body part. I actually really enjoyed the match, and then I'd never bought it for a second, but the ref gets bumped after there's a spot where the ref's in the corner. Dakota throws Io into the ref. She throws on the brakes. She turns around, and there's Dakota with the mop. I think she calls it. I forgot what her kick is called. I can't remember. Her kick in the corner is like the Sami Zayn Mafia kick. She moves out the way. The ref eats the boot, and then in comes Raquel. Raquel comes in with the power bomb, throws Dakota on top of Io, throws the ref to wake him up, and kind of pinfall. Io kicks it 3. Then they start doing near falls. Io hits throws him outside, gets both Raquel in, Dakota outside, kicks the shit out of Raquel's face on the moonsault, gets Dakota in the ring, and then hits her with a moonsault immediately and finished her off. I know a lot of people bought into that near fall. I not for 1 second. I sat there staring at my screen like, okay, like, she's kicking it 2, and then I never bought it for a second. So, like, I gave it 3 3/4, but, like, I imagine if someone actually bought that, then they could be, like, influenced to give it 4. But it just is, for me, I just never bought it for a second that Dakota Kai could beat her. Especially after they played their card with Raquel's actually still here.
Yeah, it didn't get to that top level for me. But I did think, like, the work was good, and but they it's just something was missing overall.
The fact that did you ever believe that Dakota Kai was going to win?
No.
Yeah, that's what's holding it back. That's what it is.
And then like the interference and all that stuff, I was like, oh great.
But you knew it was coming, right?
Yeah. Then of course after the match, they're beating on Io, I believe. Yeah. Raquel's in there, and then Rhea Ripley comes out, does not do the stomp. I was kind of disappointed that she did not do the stomp during the run-in, but she seems to have learned, and she got into the ring, and then we got to what WWE really wanted to do with this whole segment, is to have Rhea Ripley and Big Mommy Cool go face to face, and then I saw like Io trying to pose in the front with the belt, and it was like, we can see what they really want. Like, so, are you looking forward to the Rhea Ripley Raquel Gonzalez match? I am not.
For a TV match, sure, they're friends. They've probably been wanting to do this match for a couple years now, since they both got signed in the same year, 2017. So sure. I'm sure like watching 2 gigantic muscular women like beat the shit out of each other, it could be a fun match. And I really like Raquel's matches. Not Raquel, but Rhea's matches. So, I think they can have a good match. Do not put that on Takeover though. Like, put it on TV, sell it as like the second biggest match on an NXT Wednesday show.
I think you would do Raquel Gonzalez and Io Shirai on TV, based off the interference, and then beating her down, and immediately as Dakota loses, she's out the way, so Raquel's sitting right there.
Yeah,
so
right. And Raquel has been the one to win all but one of Dakota's actual matches in recent weeks. Yeah, I agree with that. But then, once you know how it is, once 2 giants stare at each other and glare at each other, you already know that is the program. Fuck everything else.
Yeah,
they really
amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. Who's next for Io?
Who's next? Well, I think that they're not going to do War Games. So I think it's actually going to be a Rhea. And do you know how they're going to get Rhea prepared for her title match?
By beating a giant.
That's right. So I think they have that match. And if I were them, after that takeover, Io beats Rhea. Rhea moves up to the main roster. She wins the Royal Rumble. And then she takes on Charlotte at WrestleMania and she beats fucking Charlotte. That's what I would do to try to salvage this storyline. Look, remember when Triple H said we got a storyline in place for it? Yeah. This is the only way you can actually salvage it, right?
Yeah, that's a good call.
That's the only way. I'm not saying they're going to do it because it's WWE, but like, I was thinking about this, the other day. It's like, they talked about how they got a story to save it. That's the story. She comes up, she wins the Royal Rumble, she beats her for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania after winning the Rumble. Like, cause who's supposed to win the Rumble next year?
Shit. Maybe Sasha.
Yeah, Sasha.
Like they'll ever give her anything.
Charlotte, Swerve, I'm challenging you, baby.
Yep.
Like, I think that'll be a match at WrestleMania, but I think it'll be a match at WrestleMania. That's as far as I'll go, though. But I don't think they'll involve the Rumble because, like, they don't like to give lasting things to Sasha. They it's always fleeting.
Bro, imagine the empty arena Royal Rumble. What the fuck is that going to look like?
Wow. I haven't even considered that. Like, I personally feel
countdown.
I personally feel like we're not even going to have WrestleMania in front of fans, so that means obviously we're not going to have Royal Rumble in front of fans. But like, I hadn't considered like Royal Rumble no fans. Yeah, that I mean, even in the Thunderdome, that feels wrong. So yeah.
NXT title match: Karrion Kross, the Fallen Prey lady, against Keith Lee. Keith Lee drops that fucker, the NXT title, and he's off to the main roster. We didn't know that at the time, but him and Cross went 21 minutes, rather long.
Yeah. I don't know when they said that Cross separated his shoulder, but I never noticed it. I didn't notice it until
saw a picture.
Yeah,
this shit looked like someone bit the shoulder. Like,
I never noticed it until like I never noticed it, and then like I saw after on Twitter that like, oh yeah, like he separated his shoulder. So I was like, oh, this double sucks. Like, this match was not good, and it went 21 minutes, and then he also separated his shoulder. So now like they're gonna have to fucking vacate the belt again, probably.
Unbelievable.
This like, obviously I have no way of knowing that it's gonna pop out the fucking socket on them, but still, it's like that. Damn, that's unfortunate. Like,
they treat this man like he was Kevin Owens. Like, immediately coming to the promotion, shot to the fucking belt, fuck a North American title. Like, What was it about Karrion Kross that wasn't it for like Matt Riddle or like Keith Lee or like Ricochet or like any of these like superstar dudes that were like super duper stars before they ever came in?
Oh, you know what it is? Like, Ricochet, he's small and he's black. Keith Lee, he doesn't have a good physique and he's black. Matt Riddle, he thinks too highly of himself. He's not humble. Did I pretty succinctly answer those three? Why they didn't go with those guys, those obvious fucking superstar guys they should have went with? Like that.
Yeah, like, and then like this guy comes in, he doesn't have a track record of being like over anywhere. He doesn't have a track record of like great matches. He doesn't have a track record. Like, what are I actually had a conversation with someone who shall remain nameless, about, this, subject. And my questions were like, what are the, like, metrics that are telling him to do this? Like, are there any, quarter hour ratings that he's popping? like, who does he wrestle best against? What type of faces can they match up against him? Like, are they just trying to literally snap their fingers and create a guy out of thin air?
They're trying to make a guy.
Like,
and I don't begrudge them for that, but like the thing is like,
it's such a departure from anything they do at this point.
Yeah, I think there are specific matches for him that are good, But I have yet to see them on TakeOver, and that's kind of a big fucking deal. Like, I'm not impressed by him squashing a dude with a bad neck in a predetermined match. Like, if you're going to squash somebody, I need like I need the Leon Ruff, Marco Stunt level squashes. They're just like, oh my god,
I need the Cody squash.
Yes, I need something like that. That Tommaso Ciampa match wasn't it for me. This match was not it for me. I felt like they had a good start, and then somewhere, like, it got to going way too long, and then it just dragged. But, like, I felt like they started out strong. And it I don't know when the injury started or whatever else, but, like, if you told me that, like, the idea is we're going to do Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for 21 minutes, I would have told you, cut that in half and you have a way better idea. You have a way better match. But then again, we always talk about this Triple H. He always goes too long in his pay-per-view or his pay-per-views for TakeOver, and sometimes you get Gargano in Almas or Gargano and Ciampa or whatever other great match they've had, or Zayn and Neville, and then a lot of times you also get like Joe Coffey.
Yeah. It's a promotion, for better or for worse, molded in Triple H's image. Okay. Low baby face.
Yeah. So, Rich, they have Keith Lee not only in the pants, but he is working in a sleeveless Under Armour.
Yep.
They've put a shirt on him.
Great to see that Keith Lee has retired just immediately after dropping the NXT Championship.
Like,
I'm sorry, that's not Keith Lee. Like, I don't care to see him covered up by like, if you don't think like he's in shape, then ask him to lose weight. Like, don't try to cover him up, because he's been over everywhere he's fucking been.
Right.
Looking the way he looks.
Right. And think about like who's on your roster. Like, Samoa Joe was hot as fish grease, and he too had the same problems. It just makes no sense to me. I don't.
Unbelievable.
That's not going to stop.
I'm going on Twitter to send out an inflammatory tweet right now.
Yeah, so like, Harley Race was never a draw because he had a bad physique, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's just dumb. It's like, the shit doesn't matter. Like, you're right. Like, either tell them to lose weight, which they probably can't these days, or whatever. Oh yeah, just like I thought, like, Drew McIntyre interfered in the match. The match is already over.
Incredible.
Randy Orton took off running.
It's amazing. We telling y'all live on air what's going to happen, and then the show is so long, like, we get the result of what happened. So you get an instant victory lap, James. Like,
yeah, kind of.
Oh man,
yeah. I mean, look, shout out to Drew McIntyre for like taking 2 punts to the face in short succession and still not getting stretchered off, but actually like come back and fighting, ready to fight. Like, shout out to him. Book strong, push strong. I just
sent a nice inflammatory tweet out there. Sad to see Keith Lee retired. But overall, they say takeovers don't miss. I think he missed again. Overall, like, it's not, the super level that it was, like, that may be gone. They could pull their head out their ass, but pandemic's doing them in, and it just ain't, something ain't right.
AEW and Vince McMahon's doing them in. They're making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like, book your show. Stop trying to fucking compete against Clash of the fucking Champions level ass wrestling. No one cares. Just do your show. Tell your stories you want to tell. Like, or tell satisfying stories. Like, all of this stuff where, like, like, we haven't gotten to it, but like the decision to put the belt on Keith Lee, make him drop the other belt, make that belt vacated, so then it turns into all these series of triple threat matches. One of the people wins the match and gets fucking hurt, so then you have to like have second chance matches with the people that didn't get pinned or submitted in these matches to then fill out the rest of the ladder match. And then for Keith Lee, after winning the belt on fucking June 8th, to lose the belt on August, was it 22nd?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that part.
It's like, that's stupid. Because you are out here trying to hotshot shit to match Clash of the Champions. Do the show you were doing a year and a half ago.
It's crazy because like Triple H has come out here.
Nothing's going to change. Bullshit.
Capped every step of the way.
Do you think he actually believed it, or do you think he already knew?
About what?
That, like, he knew his show was already going to be changed. Do you feel like he already knew that, or do you think
he had to know? If he doesn't know, like Triple H is one of the, like, he's one of the, on the Mount Rushmore of elite level working.
He's not.
He had to know.
He's smart to not know this.
He's a master politically. He's if anybody he's going to lie to is going to be the fans. he'll risk losing their trust and all that. But you know what that's going to result in? That's going to be like, okay, no young people want to watch your show. You're getting fucking slaughtered in the demos, and your promotion's a shell of itself at this point. And it doesn't, help that there's a fucking pandemic going on and your hot atmosphere that you always leaned on is gone. So with that out the way, and now you have a shit atmosphere, all it's doing is showing the warts a little bit clearer now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know why Keith Lee, it shouldn't, like, if the whole idea was we're going to put Cross over somebody super hard, make a guy, have him beat Cole. Cole's more over than Keith Lee was. Not by much, but he was. And then have Keith Lee, because he's going to leave in 2 fucking months. Have him put over Damian Priest. A person that he actually feuded with at certain points throughout, like, the beginning of, or the end of last year, beginning of this year. Put him over, there you go. Like, but between the no Finn Balor doing no yobs,
Twitter is on fire about this Keith Lee shit right now. It's supposed to be this big debut, and they changed everything about the guy. Like, with it, the whole topic is not that he's wrestling Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw. They changed his music and they put fucking they covered him up.
What kind of music? What's his new music like? Cause I'm not going to exactly act like his old music was the greatest in the world anyway. But I have to hear the new music.
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen things like WWE 2K menu music, like. So.
Yikes. Wow.
We'll see.
Yeah. So, all right, we move on to AEW. So this is now, we get to it.
Yeah, the real.
What was the first match?
First match was FTR versus
that's right.
Private Party. So this was a nice match. They opened already in the ring. It was Saturday night, so it didn't air right at 6:00. It had the NBA playoff game, so the show started around 6:30. So later it was fine. It felt like it was nice to have Dynamite on a different night. Just felt a little different. And with the tape shows that they've done, the crowd and atmosphere has been a little bit better. We might as well bring it up. They're going to be letting people in to Daly's place going forward. It looks like they're going to be selling
more people in because they're already letting people in.
Oh, well, they're going to be selling tickets now.
Okay.
So
wait, those people that were already there weren't spending money on tickets. They're just getting let in free.
Yeah, because those were I think it was friends and family, business comps, and they were they were doing that to essentially come up with their protocol for what they're doing now.
Okay,
everything's gonna be cashless. The tickets are sold in pods. You're spread out, temperature checks, required face mask, and you're not anywhere near the lower bowl. I don't even think you can get past the hard cam the way it's set up. So Tony Khan kind of took cues from Warrior Wrestling, what they did with that show at that big football field. And, if everyone just practices social distancing, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think the only way you could run into issues if you're in a line for a long time, like if you happen to congregate in one space for a line. But with the cashless stuff, I don't have a problem with it. I'm thinking about going all out if it happens. Like if I can get tickets. I believe they are, but it's all cashless. So like you don't have to make contact with anyone. So opening match, FTR. What are your thoughts on this whole thing, James?
I would prefer it if they didn't do that, but whatever. Like, I mean, to be quite frank, it's like if they shut all this shit down, we talked about it before, like, I don't necessarily need to see wrestling at all, but whatever. People have came to other decisions. They were like, we got to do this, either stay alive or keep our contracts. So, whatever. I'm not a fan of them letting more people in, given that, yes, it might be cashless, whatever else, but like, you still gotta open up bathrooms and people gotta, it depends on how many people there are. Like, if this is a thing to where, well, I can't even say that, like,
10% really, capacity, so 500 out of like a 5,000 seat building.
Okay, so that's better than what I thought it was, but at the same time, it's still Florida. Mm-hmm. Like maybe if this were like what northeastern corridor state has good? Is it Vermont or is it Maine? I think it's Maine. If this were Maine and they had like as good a handle on outbreak as that, then I'd be less apprehensive. But like, it's Florida, it's a fucking disaster here. So it's like so that's why that's really the main thing. Is like, it's not necessarily the oh my god, they interviewing McIntyre backstage and bro, Albert comes Orton just punts him for a third time this night. They're playing fucking tag. Like,
don't get that rematch any way you can.
Yeah. Anyway, if this weren't Florida, I wouldn't have as big of a problem, or the Southeast, quite frankly. But it's just, it's way too fucking dangerous out here with the amount of spread that's going on out here. Like, there's no way they're not putting somebody, that's sick or can transmit this shit by the dozens inside of that building. There's no way they're not doing that every week. Like, you're just running a risk of spread.
So we had FTR and Private Party. So Tully Blanchard is out there with the FTR jacket, and he's managing them now. I watch everything, and I didn't even understand when this started, but apparently they're together now. I thought this was a okay match. It wasn't anything super special, but I thought it was a good showing for Private Party. FTR gets another win because it looks like they are on a beeline to Kenny and Hangman. They got the Good Night Express for the win.
Yeah, I really like this match. I thought this was the best match I saw on Dynamite this on Saturday. I really enjoyed the tact that they used over and over with, they pretend they don't know how the fucking tag rules work, even though that's the whole thing, is all the tag rules. Like, one is on the floor and tags the other, and the ref is like, you can't get in, while the other one goes and cheats while the ref is taken. I thought I really appreciated that. Like, they did a lot of neat, normal, tax attorney stuff they do. So it was a really fun match. I thought this one, like, this might be I can't remember last time I liked a Private Party match this much. That was an actual Private Party match, not the the Mark Quinn Cody match. But I like the fact that he put Mark Quinn in as a guy to get the heat for the hot tag for Isaiah Cassidy, because they both need to show they can do that as baby faces. So as a kind of a style switch, I thought that was cool. I enjoyed the match, really did. As far as the thing with Tully, I thought they were with Arn like a few weeks ago when they signed their contracts.
Right. So it's all in the maybe it was a fallout.
Is this a setup, and they're going to start the Horsemen with those two managing them?
No idea. like it's I guess in the fallout of the tag team appreciation night, Tully started aligning himself with the FTR because he enjoyed that they beat down the Rock and Roll, which Tully, if there's anything he liked, is beating down the Rock and Roll. So
but wouldn't Arn also too enjoy such a thing?
Maybe Arn's mellowed out in his later years. As you can see, Tully has not.
All right.
So Moxley cut a promo on MJF. He said MJF's campaign makes for good TV and it's entertaining, but he doesn't need to hear about his faults from MJF. He can just ask his wife, Renee Young. Mox said he doesn't like people who constantly talk about themselves like MJF does. He said all the MJF's talking makes him think MJF is hiding something. I like that line. He said he hopes that MJF is who he says he is, the man that's going to carry this company for decades, because Mox, he said he ain't going to be around to do this shit. He might not even have another 18 months. I think he's being a little generous, but said he hopes that MJF can move out of his parents' basement and lose his virginity. Moxley promised to punch, kick, and elbow smash MJF's skull with his skull on September 5th. And he said he'll be the champion one day, but that's not going to be September 5th.
Yeah. He also said the line about taking off from I think he's hiding something. He's a funny guy and he's hiding behind, and then he talked about all the kicks and the stuff he's going to do to him in the ring. I think then we'll finally get to see what you're hiding. I thought this was another triple. You keep talking about the analogy of baseball with him. I thought he hit another triple. Like, he's my promo of the year right now.
So then MJF was in a promo in a neck brace. Man took the damn he took the fucking Paradigm Shift last week. He started this change.org petition to get the move banned. MJF compared Dictator John to Nixon and Castro. Man. He said that the Paradigm Shift is an abomination and that has left him mangled. One day he wants to have a family. He's like doing this serious face, looking like he's about to cry and all this other stuff. It was really kind of hokey, but good acting. And he won't be able to play catch with his kids as a result of the Paradigm Shift. Then MJF's lawyer took over and cut a whole promo on Mox, and it was awesome. He talked about the petition, and he said, the Paradigm Shift could be deadly, according to some experts that he talked to. The lawyer said that if Mox doesn't agree to ban the move from his title defense against MJF, he'll sue him. I'm not normally a fan of legal talk and suing in wrestling, but whatever. Sign the contract, ban the move. So it looks like they're putting it on the table that ban the finisher ban match. So maybe either Mox debuts another finisher or that's his out for if he drops the title. Overall, I thought it was a, good back and forth.
This was I enjoyed this promo from Moxley, not Moxley, but from MJF more than anything I've seen from him in this whole build. It wasn't the nonsense Trumpian shit. It was actually just like, I am a comedy heel. Like, people hate my guts and I'm in pain, so I'm going to let people laugh at me. I thought it was very well done. What was the number of people that signed the petition? Was it 5 million? It's 5 million, right?
Yeah, I forgot the number that
fucking nuts. So, I thought he was a great goofball. I really did. I thought this was the best work on mic between both of them to build this program. I think at a certain point they're going to have to beat down, Moxley. They're going to have to get heat on you to get you buy into MJF actually winning this belt, but there's still time.
Yeah, they've got Dynamite's going to be this Thursday, and I think there are 2 Dynamites the following week. So like there may be like I think there's 2 Dynamites the next week, so I have to look. But after that, we have the 8-man tag: Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Dustin Rhodes, and QT defeating the Butcher, the Blade, Ray Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr. They did a lot of it's just a big 8-man tag, and some high flying moves, and Luchasaurus running wild and a bunch of shit. But It ended up breaking down to an argument between the Lucha Brothers and Butcher and the Blade, and Jungle Boy rolled up the Blade for the pin. And then Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade were pushing each other, which I was sad to see because I've such enjoyed their alliance and their kinship and friendship. It just, you never picture those guys hanging out together, but it just works. And then Eddie Kingston comes out. Glad to see Eddie Kingston. I haven't seen him in weeks, and I would assume that's because this company is booked station to station, and it's not as easy to just stick someone in that you sign off the street. So this is a nice way to get him on the show. He cut a nice promo, said they all came from the Indies, and now they're on TNT. TNT knows drama, wink, wink. Right. But that doesn't mean there should be drama between the five of them. Only thing is holding them back from becoming champs with lack of unity. Stick together, stick with me, and he's gonna, take them to the promised land and get what they want, essentially. And since Pac can't get in the country, Eddie Kingston can be the mouthpiece.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
I really enjoy when he said that Phoenix is one of the greatest luchadors ever, because it's true. Already, so I was like, I'm okay with that. Like, I enjoyed all the stuff he said to him. Like, what the fuck? Why are y'all acting like this? So I really thought it was cool. I like the part at the end where it's like, oh, he's manipulating all these people. Yeah, like, he looked at the camera,
wink.
And I'm like, all right. If I were you, I would not be fucking with Pentagon, but all right. Play it if you want to. Look, you will be getting chopped. You may be getting railroad spikes in your forehead.
Hold on, did you say chopped? Because also the Butcher.
Oh yeah. But, I'm talking about kayfabe, like,
He also called him Big Butch.
That's right. Oh, you stupid! I'm not even gonna touch that. You can move on.
So
I'm not discussing that with you. Not doing it.
They showed Britt Baker vignette, her and Reba in the gym with Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian, and Ford and Sabian were making out. Britt Baker told him to stop all that shit because number one, cavity causing bacteria spread through human saliva, and they've been spreading it a lot back and forth. Then Britt offered them a year of free dental care if they joined Reba and her in a handicap match against Big Swole. And then
they were not thoroughly convinced yet.
Correct. And then Britt offered a year of free makeup from Reba, who did not look like she was down with this. If Ford accepted, then Ford agreed. So Penelope Ford, a hard bargain. And all Sabian wanted to do was get back to that face. So, so next week we got Big Swole versus those three. So maybe Swole will have a friend.
Well, it's really those two, but it'll really be those four.
Yeah. So, then Tony Schiavone, it was time to interview Orange Cassidy. Cassidy came to the ring with best friends before he spoke. Chris Jericho came out there, saving us from Orange Cassidy having to speak. He put Cassidy over with his Jericho-like logic. He's like, oh, you've been learning from me. Like,
yes. This is what you call a evil person with a coping mechanism. Yes, I've made you better. You beat me because you got better because you were chasing after me.
Yes. He said he's only been pinned 3 times in AEW, and Orange Cassidy has a win over him. Then he challenged him to a rubber match at All Out. Jericho said he's involved in creating one of the most famous gimmick matches ever, involving a briefcase and a ladder. Like, we know exactly what that is.
Don't get sued.
Yep. He said he's done it again, and he threw it to a video package, and then the video package outlined the rules of what is called a Mimosa Mayhem match. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then
I'm still like, what the fuck is this?
I'm like, all right, a pin, submission, or just you thrown to your fucking doom in this fucking mimosa, this mimosa, essentially. Like, I was like, oh, so Chris Jericho found a way not to get pinned again. Elite level working. But I'm down with the stipulation. I think it's hilarious. Sign me up for the Mimosa Mayhem match.
It's the goofiest sounding shit. Not the goofiest sound, but it's some goofy sounding shit.
He is going to knock Chris Jericho into the fucking mimosa with one of the shin kicks. I fucking guarantee it.
I hope not. But that's not his point.
500 cases of champagne.
the idea of, what was it, 80 gallons of orange juice and 500 cases of champagne will mix together, and it will be thrown into a vat or some drum or whatever the fuck you may fall into it or you can get pinned or submitted. I'm just like, this is just ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Whatever, man. Like, you know, it's Orange Cassidy match. At least they're not doing DDT ass to mouth wrestling, so I'm okay. Whatever. Yeah, we'll see what the match looks like. I'm sure it'll be no DQ or something like that, but we'll see.
Yeah, so they said pin submission or thrown in there, so I don't think there's going to be a DQ. You can't win by a DQ. So
yeah. So I think there's going to be some smoke and mirror type stuff with like the Inner Circle and the Best Friends and cool, whatever. The more the merrier. Like this is now goofy. So whatever. Once you
going in to drink, right?
I don't expect that. I expect them to like grab a glass or a glass or whatever, and then just basically snatch it and take a sip. Yep. That's what I expect. Somebody's doing that. Somebody's definitely doing that.
Yeah. So Cassidy then accepted the challenge. He came to the ring with Toast, but the Inner Circle attacked and left Orange Cassidy in the Best Friends land, and Jericho Dame dashed this man and poured the champagne all over him. Damn Dash lives.
Oh my God. Yeah, the beatdown was fun. Yeah, another enjoyable promo. He's a fucking gimmick. He's always been a gimmick, but he's just a gimmick.
Just everything. Just Jericho.
He's out of his mind. He's always out of his mind.
Yep. Then up next we had the Elite against the Dark Order 3, 4, and 5, which is Silver, Reynolds, and Alan Angels.
Yeah.
So this was a very good match. Lots of creative spots, lots of fast movements, cool moves from everyone. Nate Jackson's hot tag, unfortunately was on during a commercial, which I don't know how the fuck that happened. You don't ever want to do that. But lots of solid work, and Kenny ended up pinning Alan Angels with the one-winged angel for the win. So lots of crazy dives and everything else. So how big of a victory lap does Kenny Omega take on like the Alan Angels thing?
I mean, that's what commentary is more or less doing, right?
Yeah.
And commentary's put over like, he had that match with Kenny and it took him to look where he's at now. It's like, well, gee, it's almost as if like, it's like, man, it doesn't hurt anybody to go long against somebody that's a nobody like nowadays. Like maybe, the 90s, the 2000s, maybe. Like the last 5 years, no one gives a shit. Like, there's too much wrestling now as it is to care about some shit like that. Like,
bro, I feel even more vindicated for jumping out that hard as I did on it that week to combat that foolishness. I was like, what if they see something in this guy? Well, we never know who he might turn into.
Right. And like one of the things about it was sadden, or just anybody that's in, in wrestling media that's a big name, is like, it's cool to have these ideas, but you don't have to tweet everything you think. Right? Like, you could have put that, like, if he had put that on the podcast, right?
I don't think anybody would have heard that shit.
No one would have, like, took offense to it. No one would have been like, that's fucking stupid. Right? Like, people would have been like, I can see that. But, like, once you put it on Twitter, it's like, it goes somewhere else. Like, I would suggest, obviously, like, we always talk about, like, it's a toxic, environment. But, like,
the answer is never tweet.
Yeah. Like, I tweet rarely. I don't have to deal with that bullshit that comes to a lot of people.
They so what did you think about 3, 4, and 5 in here? Like, did they look like they like belonged like in there? Like, because these are like nameless, faceless guys essentially. Like, over the last couple months they've been getting built up and they've caught fire on BTE. So that's kind of rolled over. It seems like the television and that's helping out the Dark Order, I think, a great deal right now.
Mm-hmm. As a person that does not watch BTE, like, I thought I got more out of Reynolds and Silver the week before. Was that the week before when he had that match? Or was it 2 weeks ago?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I felt I enjoyed that match more 2 weeks ago than this match. But still, I thought, I thought it was a fun match, but I didn't think it was great or anything like that. It felt a lot like they were just out there to, like the Omega the Elite were out there just to be out there because like they need a spot. But
so Kenny like Matt, he kind of snaps after the match because like, him and Alan Angels have this thing or whatever, and he's gonna fucking finish him forever apparently.
Yeah.
And Matt Jackson tries to pull him off him, and Kenny slightly grabs him by the throat and then quickly moves his hand like to his shoulder, like, all right. Like he turned around, but man, something's kind of off about this Kenny guy. I don't know what's quite going on, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, like he was trying to impale him on the ladder, which is like, okay, like he's trying to murder dude. Like it's not the first time he's tried to murder somebody. Like he was trying to murder Sammy Guevara twice. Like when they ran him over with the golf cart with Matt Hardy, and then we, gave him one wing angel off the top of the fucking opening of the stadium. Like he was trying to murder him twice. So it's like, don't like. I see it's going crazy. Somewhere. It's going somewhere, but I don't know where it is, and ultimately, like I don't know if I'm ready to see heel Kenny Omega yet. But we'll see.
Yeah. I think he's somebody's gonna snap on somebody. It's coming because he's been the one trying to hold this shit together for months, going back to him and Hangman and the Bucks, all the tension there, and I don't know, something ain't right. But Alex Marvez, okay.
All right, Rich. Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, triple threat, no holds barred match at Payback.
Not a shock. Put the belt on Roman, get the fuck out of the way, start having him beat people.
So, I mean, look, they're going the route that, you suggested. Like, if they're going to do triple threat match, let them go out there and do the monster, smoke and mirror, sports entertainment gimmick stuff. So, should be a good match between those three.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, please don't. Like, let Braun Strowman, like, rip the fucking half of the Thunderdome down. Please. Please.
Put the belt on Roman Reigns and, like, stop worrying about everything being a fucking coronation. Just fucking do it. Like, that's it. That's how you beat the shit. Then Alex Marvez announced a gauntlet match next week for the to determine the challengers for All Out. I mean, FTR is like undefeated, and Kenny and Hangman have fucking cleaned everyone else out. So I don't know why they need to do this match, but I would think this is probably going to not just set up Page and Omega's match, but it'll probably set up the Young Bucks' match, unless they do some shit where like there's a draw at the end with FTR and the Bucks, or the Bucks are out of there before FTR gets in there, and someone calls the Bucks to be out of there. Might be FTR. Something. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's the Natural Nightmares will take on the Bucks. The winner of that will then face the Best Friends. Winner of that will then face FTR.
Yeah. I can see the Young Bucks winning the first match, losing the second one, then you end up getting Best Friends versus FTR. FTR wins, then you get the match. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to do Young Bucks versus FTR on TV without like blowing that off in front of a crowd, or on pay-per-view, because fuck a crowd at this point. But I think you save that for a pay-per-view match.
Yeah. I wouldn't even let them two be in the ring at the same time. I would get them niggas out of there before they're even on the screen together. Like it's on Drew McIntyre shit. Make sure they off the screen by the time FTR comes out there.
Yeah.
Or use like Tully Blanchard to fuck them or something. Like, I don't know. Like, they gotta. Look, this is a test of AEW's booking, and they usually like just address the shit head on and just be like, because a couple weeks ago we were like, well, man, does Darby Allin got to lose again? Yep, he has to lose again, and it's going to be on him to get himself over during the match. But he's going to lose, and he'll be fine. He'll come back one day. So I'm not expecting bullshit. Right.
Yeah. I'm not expecting some draw either. I don't know.
Yeah. So after that, we got Darby Allin versus Will Hobbs in about a 3-minute match. Hobbs got a lot of offense. James, was this your first time seeing Will Hobbs?
Yes, it was.
What'd you think?
I see exactly the same stuff you were telling me about him. He got most of the offense in this match. Probably got 70-30. So he ends up losing, but Darby, had to resort to crazy things to beat him. Like, you remember this? You remember he always does that between these bottom and middle rope dive that he always does, like he torpedoes in somebody. Yeah. I'm almost certain his head hit the concrete. It's like he's out of control. Yeah, it was bad. But anyway, he ended up winning, and he's laid out on the floor because he got destroyed by this big dude that beat the shit out of most of the match. So, they gave him something. They gave him more than, so you can't say he just beat he did take a muscle bound man, put his face in the same because he won the match, but he wore his ass out. He wore the established star or the rising star's ass out to win the match. So that was good.
Yeah. Hopefully this was a sign that somebody wanted to make sure Will Hobbs wasn't squashed, but they wanted to get him a look. Yeah. Finally. Yeah. He had new gear too, so this is the first time I saw that gear. So maybe he'll be around. So after that, Taz cut a promo immediately from the announce desk. He said Team Taz is rolling. He introduced the newest member of Team Taz. His name also was Darby. And then Ricky Starks came out dressed as Darby, cut a promo mocking Darby Allin's delivery, and Taz was laughing like he was or something like that.
I was laughing like that too.
Then Brian Cage attacked Darby from behind.
No. We not finna skim past this promo. This man came out here, and Darby has the writing on his chest at times, and on this man's chest it said emo. then Starks basically there is a trope in a lot of teen movies about the disaffected teen, the unfeeling teen that acts like he's too cool to care, or the person, or man or woman, the person's too cool to care. And that's what they did. That's what they did a parody on Darby, acting like he's actually that one. Obviously, if you were to strip some layers from Darby, that would be a good critique of him. If he were a poorly thought out character. If he was WWE main rosterized, that's what he would be. Then we will be able to clown him as such. So I thought, it was a good take on it. I thought it was very good. And then they decided to wear his ass out, and I thought it was very, very good. I thought it was interesting that the loner thing happened. It was, the Taz gang. I thought Moxley may have came to make the save, but nah, you just getting your ass whooped.
Yeah. And it seems like, Cage is kind of they've swapped spots, him and Ricky, at least in short term, and it looks like, Ricky and Starks are probably going to have that match, probably at All Out, if I had to guess, in the young guy spot.
Fine by me.
So after that, he shot an angle. Sammy Guevara came to the stage with his cards, and he sent Matt a message, and then Matt Hardy attacked Sammy with a chair and laid him out. He continued the attack when they came back from the break, and he threw Sammy off the stage through a table. Yes. Then they announced that, he said that he was going to do essentially what Sammy did to him with the chair, but the refs came out and stopped it. And eventually they announced that they would be doing a match next week, tables match between him and Sammy. So that did not make it to the pay-per-view.
Yeah. How many good table matches have you ever seen?
So the Dudleys and Hardys at the Royal Rumble at 2000, I think. I don't know. I don't know. Table matches aren't something I like.
It's a stipulation where it's like, and yeah. So it's like, we'll see how they do it, but like I just hope
as long as.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as long as no one does that Big Show sharded through the table thing.
Was that Extreme Rules 2012?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or no, 13, I think.
No. It was 12. It was 12.
You sure?
Yeah.
It was, because it was Cody.
Because it's Cody. In like 2013, Big Show was against the Shield with Sheamus and Orton.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, after that, Shivani then threw.
No. We're not going to talk about the WrestleMania and then not talk about how Big Show saved the crowd that was telling Orton and Sheamus, get the fuck out of here by coming out there and breaking up that match. Like, they shat all over Orton and Sheamus in this match. Thank you, Big Show. Thank you, Big Show. A year later, they made him retire, or 2 years later, retire. Yeah. Maybe we are fickle as the rest of
Life don't match you fast.
Yeah. Maybe they are. Maybe we just are. But anyway, we'll see what they do.
Then Shivani threw to a pre-tape promo from NWA Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa. So Tony Khan just later on in the show I'll get to it, but just Tony Khan just flexing all over, like it seems like, with the personnel choices here. Thunder Rosa cut a promo, half in Spanish, half in English. She said she heard Sheeta's call for challengers. She's here to help. And they made sure the NWA title was prominently featured, and they announced, she's challenging Sheeta for the, I don't know if it's for the title at the pay-per-view.
I believe it is.
Could this be a situation where it's not for the title, where it's like a Takumi Oroha versus Mayu situation, to where she comes in, beats the champ, and then,
sets up a
down
title match down the line?
Yeah.
Could be. Either way, I think that this is a good idea to keep them from overdoing, title match with Nyla Rose versus Small Woman. So, I'm with it. I do appreciate they were able to get the old Mildred Burke on the program, You know how people call old guns to Daniel Boone? I'm gonna start calling the NWA Women's Championship the Mildred Burke. Out there with that old ass looking belt. That shit say 1948 on it, Rich. That belt old as fuck. So yeah, I'm glad they went out there and got Thunder Rosa. They, given what we are, like, I'm glad that, after some criticism that they've received over the past few weeks, or, just knowing where they've been as far as, the lack of, television time they can give any of these women, they are now, starting to recruit some of the people that, a lot of people were like, hey, how come you haven't let this person? It was like, well, we got them. How about this person? They got them. Thank you. Now you can actually, now it seems like, with Savoy, with Diamante, with Ivelisse, with Thunder Rosa, we'll see what happens with someone like a Allison Kay. It looks like they're going to have some some matchups that can actually be quality matches on TV or pay-per-view.
It's funny. It's like, I don't know if Tony Khan just waits to reveal the person, the next one that they're complaining for, and then he just drops them out, and then it's yeah, and then combined with, we had the, women's tag team cup final right after that, Ivelisse and Diamante defeating Brandy and Allie, in the championship or the finals, to win the cup. So this whole thing was a Brandy Rhodes. Oh, wait a minute. They lost. Hold on. What? This actually, I thought it was cool.
I'm sorry. Did people think that it was fait accompli? They just knew that Brandy and Homegirl was gonna win?
Correct.
I haven't followed it all to even know. So I once I saw I looked at Gravel and saw them star ratings for that turn. I'm like, I'm not watching this. I'm I'm not. But, yeah, I heard the matches were not that good. There may have been like a couple that were average, maybe 3 that were average. But yeah, I hadn't followed the tournament, but I knew they were in the final. But was the talk that people were like, people hate Brandy so much that people were like, they're just going to have.
Oh yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right.
This thing is a whole Brandy Rose vanity project. This is solely exists to push her. So it was funny. So after the reveals of of Rachel Ellering, Nicole Savoy, who else? We had Ty Narakanti, fucking Thunder Rosa now, Ivelisse and Diamante, and also them beating Brandy in the finals, and booking Sheeta versus Thunder Rosa. Tony Khan could just tell them to hold his dick, right? Because these are all things that were taped weeks ago, ahead of all this shit.
Was it taped?
Bro, the tournament's been taped forever. Like, as far as like,
no. I'm not talking about the
when
tournament.
they started airing that shit.
No, I'm talking about like
all these people was like, you need to start. Oh, that's been taped too.
They tape in 2s, right?
Like, that was taped 2 weeks ago. That was taped 2 weeks ago, and I believe the Women's Tag Cup was taped like 2 weeks before that. So, like, all these people were on the way in, like, as these, this loud section of Think Peace Twitter got louder and louder. All these people, like, Tony Khan was already ahead of all of them.
Yeah, what I would say is that's a cool idea, but I don't think that's what actually happened, because I wouldn't personally like book things that infuriate you because you feel like I wouldn't book. I personally don't think that he would book to antagonize people into thinking like this division is shit and then like bring in the recruits. I don't think he would do that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I think that he was already like seeing where
he
the deficiencies were, addressing them.
Right. Yeah. But at the same time, like, don't put them, if there's all on the same taping, you can put them on the show earlier. You could. Like, what was the match that Sheeta had a squash match on somebody, 2 weeks ago? There may have been no match like the week before the Sheeta match. Like, there was a lot of, AEW Dynamite that had like little to no women's wrestling on it. Like, if this was all the same set of tapings, like, you didn't have to put all of that all on the same show, necessarily. I mean, I'm talking about as far as the reveal of Thunder Rosa, like, you could have put that on there, like, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But it ultimately doesn't bother me. It's like, you put it on TV, your TV was lacking quality women. You brought in that tournament to try out some of these women, so like, that was a cool thing to do regardless. And now it looks like you got some talent now. When it was like a struggle. And Britt's coming back too, so that also helps as well.
Yep. So after that, QT jumped on the apron. Ivelisse ended up hitting them off, and Diamante gave Allie some move and beat her. And instead of the Roses, Medusa was out there. They were there to present medals, flowers. They threw the flowers down, and they held up the Puerto Rican flags, because if it's anything about our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, they love their flag more than the most jingoistic American does.
Look, I don't know if that's just a I don't know if that's just a Puerto Rican thing, or if that's just like a island thing. Like, it don't matter if you're from a Afro-Caribbean island or if you're from a Latin Caribbean island, you finna sport that flag, Jack.
You finna rep it.
You name me somebody that's from the Caribbean and don't rep they set.
Yeah. They let you know.
Look, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, but I'm just like, we know. Once you come in with the clothing or like the back windshield is the mini flag is hanging off of that, we already know what time it is. I love it.
Yeah. So after that, we had, they started talking about next week. Jericho's going to be on commentary, tag team gauntlet match. Hardy and Sammy, MJF and Moxley in contract signing. Swole against, Britt and the Britt Baker team, for next week. And I would assume they'd announce one more match because I think they're missing a big match, but, right? Well, yeah, that gauntlet match, that's probably the big match.
That's how that has to go like an hour.
Yeah. So after that, the main event, this has been an awesome show. And then this happened. Brody Lee versus Cody.
This was a great show for all these hardcore wrestling fans care about are the matches. Like, the best match on this card is what? 3.5, maybe?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this is not a night for the AEW, just for the moves wrestling fan base. Like, all they did was shoot angles and have great ass promos all night long. So I don't want to hear that shit. And this ain't the first night the AEW has had one of those kind of episodes either.
Yeah. This was, seems like it was strategically placed Saturday. They knew this would be a show. The ratings probably were going to drop Tuesday on that. I literally don't know what the rating would be, because it's out of his normal time slot. It is, I think TakeOver had started, but, a lot less people watch that, than national television. Yeah. So I don't know, but they clearly put this in a spot to make a statement. It was a standalone kind of event. And this was like, yo, Brody Lee blitzed this fucking dude. I fucking loved it. I loved seeing Cody lose, get destroyed, thrown, not once, but twice to the mat with a vicious powerbomb, beat on, destroyed, killed. And it looked like this, adds further into my Cody Balboa theory, of him just coming out here, and fighting after fighting all these setups. He get in there with somebody real. And somebody real gets his ass the fuck out of there in like 3 minutes. And Cody didn't hit one offensive move. Brody Lee looked like a fucking monster. The half and half suplex, the release Germans, the discus lariat. And this was a total squash. This was like one of the best presentations of how to like make somebody, this is supremely impressive. And like, I think Cody, I did my clowning on Cody now, right? Now I'm going to, do something serious. So Cody put a lot of he also put a lot of fires out for people that, have said he's burying the mid card. He's burying guys. And this is this vanity thing for him. And this is like, just this horrible title reign or whatever. I'm like, that couldn't be further from the truth. This has been like the best title reign of the year. This has been a title reign that has gotten people signed. This has been a title reign that has drawn solid numbers in every occasion that it's, come up in. He's gone in there and not buried the roster. Everyone that he's beat that was on the roster typically is 2 years away from being 2 years away. Or it's one person
Don't
like Skull.
2 years away, 2 years away is too disrespectful. That is.
I mean, like Mark Quinn and Jungle Boy, like them dudes are 22. Like, come on,
no. You remember when that line came from? That's disrespect. Don't do that. Like, that was from a fucking NFL NBA draft pick that was like that. It's a foreign talent that was like he's never going to be good, and that was such a backhanded compliment. Don't do that to Jungle Boy Mark Quinn. Don't do that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so these guys. I gotta
get my Stephen A. Smith on. Don't go that far. Don't go that far.
Beating them is not some tragedy for their careers at 22 years old.
Right.
The other people he beat, let's see. Ricky Starks off the street, a man that was without a contract before that match. Eddie Kingston, also a man off the street, a man that was without a contract before he came. Jake Hager, are we really crying that he put Jake Hager in the ground? No. Like, And then the only person that you might have thought about, it took like 7 the reign was already established by the time he gets to Scorpio Sky. And yeah, I didn't necessarily like the match. I didn't like how they kind of discarded Scorpio Sky, but ultimately it's one person that he beat. Like, and in this promotion, literally everyone has shown they will lose at the right time. Yeah. From Kenny to Jericho to now Cody to Brody Lee himself. I don't know if anyone's beat Moxley like clean as a single. But like I'm not concerned about Jon Moxley doing business when the time comes. Right. Like this guy had a phenomenal title reign, and it was like he fed it all to Brody Lee on a silver platter with a group that's fucking peaking right now. And we'll get to the post-match angle now, I guess. The entire Dark Order comes out and fucking destroys them. Brody Lee pours the fucking belt, the broke up ass belt that Cody had on him, out there.
Well, no, hold on. Okay, so the full beatdown is he beats his ass, wins the belt, continues to beat his ass. Then you're like, all right, when is like the Nightmare family gonna come out here? And like, nah, they ain't know when they're gonna come out here. Nah, the goons came in and grabbed his ass, grabbed them, QT and Dustin, and collected their asses and put them down. They beat up Arn.
That's what made me gasp. I was like, because Arn Anderson doesn't do physical angles, right. So I was like, and that's why I knew I was like, oh, there's real heat going on right here.
So then Brandy came out there, do the same thing like she's done in the past, at different
thinking it's sweet,
whatever else, thinking that like no man will put paws upon her, because they want to whoop Cody's ass that bad. And then I was like, in my mind, I was like, where's Anna Jay? Where's Anna Jay? And then she showed up. I was like, yes! Yes! And then she choked her out, and then they poured the pieces of the belt on top of the old belt on top of Cody, just like he said, like, once I win that new belt, I'm gonna give you the old one back in this one, I give it to you back in 1,000,000 fucking Jenga pieces or jigsaw pieces. And
I loved every second of this.
I thought it was awesome. And we talked about this either last week or 2 weeks ago about like how they rejiggered and reconfigured around the Dark Order by sending them back down and retooling, and then, adding Brody Lee. And then you talk about the BT stuff. And he had been protected. He had a great record with the squash matches or whatever else. And then, I don't know how much of the story is other people talking themselves into it, or how much story is actually there where Cody is being the fighting champion. He's worn down, and then he gets his ass whooped by a real dude. But it could be there. It could be there if they want to play on it. That's still there. But I thought it was great. I really did. I thought the whole beatdown stuff was great. It was total destruction. It felt like Thanos at the end of fucking Infinity War. Like everyone's fucking just destroyed and decimated.
Yes. The complete opposite of the last time the Dark Order left, or they went off the show with the Dark Order.
The end of 2019, the last Dynamite of 2019. Like, what the fuck is this? Like this.
Yeah. Like, it's amazing like that, because all that tells me is like, they have the ability to fix some shit, right, and reroute it and get someone over and just tweak it, and then it's totally acceptable months later.
Yeah, that's what we committed.
It's just amazing.
I personally committed up for that. What was that? 2 weeks ago, like when they won that that was it a
8-man tag,
8-person tag match, or I'm sorry, 8-person tag match, whoever it was. I was like, you see,
or 12-person tag.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, because so many people in and out of that match. But I was like, when they won that match, like, this is appropriate, and look what they've done over that time. And like, this is another example. Like, this to a further extent, like, this is even better than that. So, yeah, like, just a great job. Just a really good ass job.
I was pumping my fist like watching this.
Who do you want to see him wrestle on the pay-per-view against?
Honestly, Cody.
In 2 weeks?
He did the stretcher job. They're going to be updating us on his condition, and
they flipped him off the stretcher just like Strowman and Roman, like we talked about earlier.
But like he's got to lose to Brody Lee again. Like I wouldn't flip the belt immediately back to him in 2 weeks. I wouldn't do that. Brody Lee, I don't know if we talked about him enough in particular, but like WWE saw no value in this guy literally less than a year ago, and this man has come in here on a fucking vengeance. Like I don't care what color he is, this man's doing the best work of his fucking career right now. Yeah. He's in awesome shape. He's over. He can talk. He can work. He's a monster.
But that's the thing. We always knew this about him.
Yep.
Rich, we were seeing his praises before WrestleMania 30.
Correct.
We're like, fuck Bray Wyatt. He's the worker.
Yep.
And then, you look at the end of 2014 after the Sting, the Survivor Series 2014 match with the Authority and Sting or whatever else. And, the week, like when he won the IC belt, against Ziggler and he had the Intercontinental title match, like even before that's in the middle of that summer when he had the match with, against the Usos on I think it was Payback. Cause that was in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you were there, weren't you?
Battleground, actually.
About Battleground, something. Yeah, like, he's always been a great worker or whatever else, one of the best big men in the business. It's just like, when WWE gave him spots, it was like, whether it was 2017 at the beginning when he left the Wyatts or whatever else, it was like, they kept giving him stuff from time to time, like bits and scraps. And, it was just like, it's just a glut of talent in WWE, right? Like, I think that's one of the things with AEW is like America in the wrestling world in general has so much TV talent that like WWE has a fucking, we've talked about this for years, but they have an over embarrassment. It's beyond an embarrassment of riches. Like, and like you go somewhere where his services are, being utilized and you see it, like the stuff we were seeing from him in spots in, the Shield versus Wyatt match and what we saw at times. It's here and like it's actually a singles act and he's the leader of a faction and like he's doing great with it. Like I can't say that WWE never saw talent in them because they clearly did. It's just it's another talent.
They ain't seen him like this. They ain't seen him like this.
Right. That's true because he doesn't have a southern accent. Like, I got this one thing for you. This one thing for you only. And if you can't do it or just fuck you.
Who knew? Amazing.
Like, we always knew that Bray Wyatt, we always knew that like if the time came, like that dude go out there and have killer matches. Like we saw it for years. We saw it whenever he was put in a position to have killer match, whether it was the Wyatts versus the Usos or the Wyatts versus the Shield or him versus Randy Orton or him versus AJ or him versus Ziggler or the Survivor Series match I talked about earlier. Like he always delivered. Or hell, when he even got squashed against Brock Lesnar on one of those like pay-per-view network shows. Like he went out there and had a good match with him, even though it was like a couple minutes.
This is Cody's first clean job in singles in the promotion.
Is it?
First pinfall, clean loss. He did a job for Nick Jackson or the Young Bucks in that Fight for the Fallen tag main event.
He's the one that got pinned?
What's up? He's the one that got pinned, yep.
Okay.
He did, of course, that ref stoppage with Jericho, so if you want to call that a submission, sure. But we know what that was. It was homeboy fucking him. MJF had to use like all types of cheating and I think the ring to knock him out to win. Besides that, he's rolled through everybody since then and laid down. And it's in service of a big angle. It looks like it meant something. So
yeah,
that's the match I want to see. I want to see him eventually come back and fight Brody Lee.
But do you think it's too soon to get a rematch? Because he's gonna have to cut a promo of the year low promo for me to be like, from a hospital bed?
He gonna have to get up out the bed. He gonna have to get up. He gonna have to rouse the fuck up. Yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's where they go for All Out. So And if you got to beat him again, beat him again. But I fucking love this show. This was like the angles, like that's like raise the roof, 2 fists in the air. Like, oh my God, this is fucking, oh, I love it. And then of course, with Anna Jay jumping on Brandy, it's kind of confusing with Brandy because this is the second time she's like turned babyface, it seems like, by trying to save her husband.
Do you really think that's actually a babyface turn again?
No idea, because like I don't know where her heel runs and babyface runs starting in, because she's turned heel. She started randomly working heel at the start of this tournament. Now
I guess what I'm saying is I think she's a heel right now that was concerned and tried to save her husband, and that's really it. I don't think she's actually tried to turn babyface by doing that. I mean, I could be wrong, but it doesn't feel. I feel like narratively, you can be an asshole and still care about like your spouse.
Maybe. It just looks maybe, but right. It just looks funny in the light because like the last time, like with her, she's going back and forth so often. She's looking like the Big Show. Yeah. So it's really confusing now. We don't know. Like we should be able to, like in AEW, we know most things, but her, I don't know.
Speaking of know most things, we never really talked about this. We kind of skimmed through it, but that explanation that the Revival gave to Hangman was ridiculous.
Yes.
And then when the real line that gets dropped is
like, do they think Hangman's a dummy?
No, they're playing him like a fiddle because he's insecure about the Young Bucks, which then plays back on my thing where it's like, how is this guy the babyface y'all all love when the whole thing about him is he's trying to prove to the Young Bucks, the guys that hired him, or not hired him, but like, quote unquote, found him and is trying to be nice to him, that, like, it's just weird. It's like, this is the dude that y'all, like, was cheering super duper hard for, even though he's the actual asshole in the storyline. Like, I get it. He drinks beer, but like, don't bullshit.
I was gonna say, it's the beer. It's the beer. No. It's the attitude. Like, it just resonates. Like,
but the thing for me is like, back in January and February when I was telling y'all it's just drinking beer, like, I felt like I was being told, like, nah, it's not just a beer. It's this incredible character. And like, once he gives you this line is like, nah, it was the beer all along. I was right, and y'all just fell for this. Y'all just fell for the fact that this dude just won a bunch. And like, cool. Like, if y'all were to tell me I like the dude because he started teaming with Kenny Omega and he kept pinning motherfuckers with teaming with Kenny Omega, I'm okay with that. But don't give me this other stuff about like it's the character and like it's and I'm like, what character? He's a dick to his friends, and he's jealous of his friends for no reason.
Look, people love him.
I didn't say they didn't. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out that it didn't make that much sense. It wasn't like some great
he's the easy one to like. If you don't like quote unquote the elite, Hangman seems to be the one that you latch yourself onto, and there's a lot of those out there.
Yeah, what? That's true. I just like. I don't have these hang-ups with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks that apparently a lot of people do. It's like, this is weird. People just have like, okay, so Cody goes out here and does his cosplaying as 80s matches. Hangman is doing, like quite frankly, the second best Austin impersonation in AEW. And the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega just go out here and just, have their matches, but like, and they all hang out together and they're all EVPs, well, except for Hangman. They're all EVPs, and they all sit on the same means, they're all part of selling the same merchandise, they're all for the same company. I don't know how you hate these three motherfuckers, but like love everybody adjacent to them. This is the dumbest sounding shit I've ever heard of.
I know.
Seek help.
Like, y'all gotta let that go, man. Like, them toys are sold out. Them shirts they've been selling for years. Yeah. The company got created. Let it go, man. Yeah, like your life will be better.
Like, you talking about they need to let it go. I'm like, what even made them pick it up? I don't understand. I don't get it. What did they do to you? Show me when they touched you on the bear.
Bro. Y'all real mad they ain't come show up at the Royal Rumble, I guess.
Like, if you don't like them, because like, you know, they're some of them may be MAGA or are MAGA. Like, okay, I get that, but like, this ain't where that's coming from. This ain't where that's coming from. It's not. Because the same motherfuckers will go out there and praise the MAGA ass Jericho too.
Yeah.
And Cody's more MAGA than all of them.
Yeah. It's a quite interesting situation.
Yeah.
But one day, maybe they'll be honest and tell us what really bothers them about Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I would love to hear it. But I don't have anything else besides that. An awesome weekend overall of wrestling, and check out my series, I guess, that I got going on YouTube, Deconstructing Family Music Life, my album that is available on iTunes and anywhere you are streaming music. You can just type it in and I'll be right there.
Yeah. I listened to the deconstruction of the all-time greatest or whatever. No.
I wanted the props.
That's right. I want the props. I don't know why I confused all-time greatest, but yeah, I was like, thank you for not like throwing that drop that I did and talk about that. I'm glad you left that shit alone. I'm glad. I appreciate you doing that. He was like, yeah, we were doing this podcast, and then James went off some thing about Defying Rap, and then like we cut off the podcast, and then I put a mic in front of his face and say replicate that, as opposed to just like cutting the audio. I appreciate that, so thank you. Because I remember when you actually did that shit, I was like, I don't want to really do this, but my homeboy want to do it, so fuck it. But yeah, appreciate
had to get his alone. Had to get his man on the album, you know.
God,
you know.
Okay.
You know, get this man on the song, you know.
Yeah, so
it'll exist forever.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's how the internet works, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the end of the show. Be sure to rate us on whatever app you're using to listen to this. Tell the folks about the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Be sure to visit ProWrestlingTees.com/Social Suplex and pick up some official Social Suplex Podcast Network merchandise. Be sure to check out the other shows on the network. On Sundays, we have this show, Monday, One Nation Radio. On on Tuesdays, we have Keepin It Strong Style. On Wednesdays, we have the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Podcast. On every other Wednesday, we have Roman Watches Shit. On Fridays, we have 8-Bit Suplex. And on Saturdays, we have All Things Elite. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Yep.
Later.
Peace.